got the win. Andy Pettit's ready. Figgins is ready. Let's do it here in the Bronx as the veteran left-hander deals, and it's bunting. Fielded there by Posada. He throws to first. They got it. Nice play by Posada. Let's take a look at the Angels starting lineup presented by our good friends at BMW. We already saw Sean Figgins, the third baseman. He leads off for the Angels. Gary Matthews Jr. in right field, bat second. Bobby Abreu's in left, hitting third. Then you've got Torrey Hunter, who's not have good numbers against Pettit, cleaning up. Napoli and Kendrick, fifth and sixth. In the bottom of the order, Ron Quinlan, Jeff Mathis, and Eric Ibar. Well, the Yankees always breathe a sigh of relief when they keep Figgins off the bag. Tried to bunt his way on. There's a breaking ball strike to Gary Matthews from Andy Pettit. Andy lifetime against the Angels in 25 starts, 12 and 8 with a 4.40.
See the numbers, making his fifth start, a 2-1 record, very solid 2.96 ERA.
The 0-1.
We'll take a look at our Jeep pitcher scattering report. 2 for 1. Andy Pettit has had 17 opportunities to roll over a double play. Has not done it yet this year. And tighten it up. 3 stolen bases Sunday night against the Boston Red Sox. Very unlike Andy Pettit. And also set the tone by getting Sean Figgins out, which he did on one pitch. Figgins was 5 for 11, 455 coming into that at bat.
As you can see, starting to rain again here at the stadium. That's the last thing you want to do with a veteran pitcher, start him up and then have to shut him down. So I would assume that if the umpire started the game, they did see clearing ahead, so maybe this is just a mild shower.
Danny Cunningham checking out those windows in the forecast. Ever hear about those windows, Michael? There's always a window around Yankee Stadium.
A lot of windows, but those windows usually, it doesn't work out the way it's planned.
That's right.
There's some windows.
Those are the windows. See, it's not raining in those windows.
3-2. Punch foul. Well, what a perfect time to talk about weather. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. It's raining. 64 degrees. Whenever it's raining, there's high humidity and not much wind. And we've got a forecast of periods of showers. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. Andy Pettit deals the 3-2. Foul away.
The Yankees running out the same lineup 3 games in a row on a 3-game winning streak. Melky Cabrera gets another start. Pena gets another start at third base. A big hit for him last night, a big double. It's not broken, don't fix it, I guess.
I don't think I've ever played for a manager that didn't go with the same lineup after a win. It's just, that's what you do.
Deep drive center field. Going back, Melky on the track in front of the wall. He makes the catch right in front of the door for the Yankee bullpen. Now let's check out the entire Yankee defense, brought to you by our good friends at Home Depot. We know that Melky's in center. He's sandwiched by Damon and Swisher left and right. In the infield, Pena, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira, third to first. Posada behind the plate, and Pettit is on the mound.
Melky Cabrera, this ball's driven all the way to the wall in right center field. I mean, it very easily gets to it. See that? It says hello to a couple of guards back there.
Here's Bobby Abreu. He tries to bunt, and he misses 0-1.
Bobby Abreu got another nice hand from the Yankee Stadium crowd again. Good numbers, still looking for that first home run.
Bobby's such a good hitter, but he got such a reputation after that home run hitting contest in the All-Star game that everybody thought now he's a power hitter. He's going to hit 30, 35, 40 home runs. That's not the type of hitter he is. I mean, he can hit drive in 100, hit 300, but, you know, if he hits 20, 25 home runs, that's a good year for him.
Well, I was surprised doing a little research on him. He's stolen 20 bases in 10 straight seasons in a row. I mean, very impressive. And a good curveball slider from Andy Pettit. He also plays every day, Paul. 150 games every year at least for Bobby Abreu.
And the 1-2. Grounded and knocked down by Teixeira. There'll be no play at first. That's a play that Teixeira would say he should make. We'll see how they score it.
He said he told Andy, my bad. I mean, this, you're right, Michael. This is a play. He got in front of it, got a glove on it. You know, tough hop, but again, Teixeira is so good with the leather that most of the times he comes up with his play.
Gave that a base hit.
Take it.
That's a good way to start off your night, huh? If you're Bobby Abreu.
Christmas in May. Here's Torrey Hunter. Abreu 9 for 9 in stolen bases. Now the Angels 24 of 29 in stolen bases, but they have not stolen a base against a left-handed pitcher.
You got to believe Andy Pettit's going to pay a little more attention to the running game after what happened to him Sunday at Fenway Park, the steal of home by Ellsbury. But 3 stolen bases in that game for the Red Sox. Very unlike Andy Pettit to allow that to happen.
You know, Andy's got such a good move. You got to think that guys stealing second base on him. You look at the, I mean, you've seen this a lot, and I'm sure Andy Pettit's tired of hearing about it. But, you know, it's an exciting play in baseball, and you don't see it very often. You almost saw him go head first, face first there, but back to stealing second base off Andy. I mean, it's almost a guessing game. I mean, you try to get into a pattern where you know he's going to the plate, and you just guess and go on first movement because his move is so good that if you go on your normal base stealing thing of getting a good lead and getting a good read, there's no way you're going to steal a base on him.
And if you guess right, Paul, he's easy to steal on, right?
He's easier to steal third on because he does, you know, he doesn't have that hesitation with the leg up there. Big weapon for the Angels, stealing bases, second in the league. As you take a look at the move from Andy Pettit, leg up, he'll look away and then go over to first base. But like Paul said, tough to pick up a pattern.
It's one of the rules of baseball that you could draw every line, everything you can do. You can't tell that balk thing is so vague from a left-hander with a good move.
Well, I also love the way it's explained. You know, he deceived the runner. Well, every time he's trying to deceive the runner, then everything would be a balk. Now Jorge Posada goes out and talks with Pettit.
We saw a lot of this last night with A.J. Burnett and Jorge Posada. A lot of conversations, trying to get on the same page. And Michael, you talked about these guys work so many times together, 162 games.
Does it bother you, though, when you see, and everybody's heard about the stolen bases, when a pitcher starts throwing over to first base over and over again, you almost get a feeling as a catcher, hey, you know, you got a hitter up here.
You have 2 outs, take care of the hitter.
And now he's fallen behind 3-0 on Hunter, and Hunter has power. He has 8 home runs this year.
Got to believe he's going to have the green light here if he sees a pitch that he likes. Really the main power source for Mike Scioscia's ball club. Torrey Hunter with the 8 home runs.
Never got a chance to swing. That was up and away, so a walk to Torrey Hunter. So after 2 quick outs, now runners on first and second with Mike Napoli up.
We'll take a look at the pitch by pitch from Andy Pettit. First pitch fastball up. A little cutter down and in that misses. Then he tries to go away, misses off the plate. Pretty good pitch. And then up and away.
Pitch to Napoli is a strike.
We talked about Napoli last night being a catcher who has power. He's a designated hitter tonight. He got 2 balls out over the plate. First one, he hits a home run to right field off of AJ. On the first pitch that he saw out over the plate, it's good extension. Had another base hit on a fastball away, and he pulled it. So obviously a guy who likes to extend his arms. See if Andy Pettit, Jorge Posada going to bust him inside, make him think about the inner half.
The 0-1. 1-1. Against runners in scoring position, or with runners in scoring position, opponents are 6 for 26. That's .231 against Pettit, and Mike Napoli has good numbers against the Yankees. This is Pettit's 20th pitch. Runners go for second, and there'll be no throw, so Bobby Abreu was 10 for 10. Torrey Hunter stayed put at first.
You know, your job as a runner at first base is you always keep your eye on that guy from second, because you know you can get a big share that far off. You can get a lead that far, and if you get a good read, you can walk into second base.
So that's a mistake there by Hunter. He has to go when he sees Abreu go.
Well, you have to be staring at Abreu and reading him. But every once in a while, that guy will fake you, and that's the one thing. You can't put your head down like I did in Cincinnati one time with Eric Davis and got thrown out by 30 feet, and he was still standing at second base like, what are you going for? So every once in a while, that runner will fake you.
You got to believe from what the Yankees saw last night, they're going to establish inside the Napoli, try to tie him up around the belt.
Two balls, two strikes, two outs. Got him. Picked off Hunter. Two base running mistakes by Torrey Hunter. Not taking second when Abreu took third, and then getting picked off with a 2-2 count with Mike Napoli at the plate. So Pettit turns out his good move. Hunter was leading, and he's tagged out by Mark Teixeira. They got him. First base umpire Dana DeMuth said, "You're out." We go to the bottom of the first. Thanks to Torrey Hunter's base running misadventures. Let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup presented by BMW. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off, batting second. Playing left field, Johnny Damon. Mark Teixeira's at first base, hitting third. Cleaning up and DHing, Hideki Matsui. Robinson Cano takes a 17-game hitting streak into this match. The second baseman will bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Jorge Posada. Nick Swisher's the right fielder, batting seventh. Batting eighth, Melky Cabrera playing center field since April 13th. He has been on fire. And Ramiro Pena, who had 2 RBIs yesterday, his first 2 big league RBIs, will play third and no back.
Well, the Yankees going to go to work against Jared Weaver, probably be considered the number 2 starter at this point with all the injuries. His 5th start, a good record, 2-1, nice ERA. 24 hits in 25 innings, only 6 walks. Our Jeep pitcher scatter report, he is a fly ball pitcher. His last 2 starts, 25 air outs, 6 on the ground. And he's given up 4 home runs, but they've all been solo shots, so they're not going to hurt you. And he's got some left-handed weapons. Lefties are 0 for their last 17 against Weaver. That tells me he's got an outstanding changeup and probably a pretty tight slider down and in.
Looks like there's some clearing as the rain hopefully moving away from the stadium. And here's Derek Jeter. Pitches outside from Weaver. And the count 1-0. By the way, I'm sorry.
Michael, but it was surprising that, I mean, you talked about how well he's gotten left-hander hitters out in the field. Watch his motion. It's going to be tough on a right-hander because he kind of sidewinds and crossfires across his body, where left-handers should get a better look at the ball. But so far this year, he's taken care of him.
There's a strike. Now that pickoff that Pettit used to gun down Torrey Hunter, that moved him past Kenny Rogers for most career pickoffs since it became an official stat back in 1974. What a weapon it's been for him. Missed outside. Home plate umpire is Hunter Wentelstedt.
I've always liked watching Weaver. He's got a real long arm swing behind his body. I mean, he's a big guy, but he's got a good arm swing, good extension. And I think that one of his weapons is that changeup, and I think that's why it's so effective. Watch the arm come all the way back here. He gets real good extension behind him. Good finish out in front. That's going to be effective when he throws a changeup with that sort of delivery.
See on the side of his hat, honoring his fallen teammate Nick Adenhart, number 34. And Derek Jeter works a walk to lead off the first for the innings. Well, Mike Sosa did not like the call by Wennerstedt. Let's take a look at the entire umpiring crew. Hunter's behind the plate. Dana DeMuth is at first. Todd Tickenor, the second base ump, and Doug Eddings over at third.
Fastball, 3-2 fastball. See, the catcher butchered that right there, Flash. He didn't catch it right. He would have got that strike. You see that?
It's never the catcher's fault.
Johnny Pfeiffer's last 21, hitting 295, playing with a painful left shoulder. He does not want to get it checked out. He said, because I don't want to get any bad news, I will play through the pain.
And when you have shoulder problems or an injury and you get to the point that Johnny Damon is, you pretty much know what you're going to find out is not going to be good news. You're almost better off not paying attention. Put a little ice on there, get it loose, and go to work.
What kind of way you come to work, Michael?
Every day.
Ice up, get ready,
suit up. Yeah. Take a look at the Angels defense, brought to you by Home Depot. In the outfield, Abreu's in left tonight, Hunter in center, and Matthews over right. We've got Biggins, Ibar, Kendrick, and Quinlan third to first. Mathis behind the plate. Good numbers in his starts as catcher, and Weaver on the mound. Mathis is the better defensive catcher, but Napoli is the better hitter, so they have both in the lineup today as Napoli's a DH.
Flash, you talked about that long arm that Weaver gives, which should be good for base stealing, but you see he quickens up, he slide steps a lot, and has to do something to try to keep those runners at bay.
One-two. Inside 2-2. Lifetime against the Yankees, 3-1 with a 6.14 ERA. In 22 innings pitched against the Yankees, he's allowed 8 home runs. He's given up 4 home runs this year, all to left-handed batters. And that's what Damon is at the plate right now. The 2-2 outside. 3-2. He looks like he'd be tough to catch because his pitches move all over the place.
They do. It looks like he's missing with control right now. You mentioned Mathis, a quality defensive catcher, but also Weaver's a fly ball pitcher. And, you know, we're going to see how it works out tonight in this park. Johnny Damon hit a ball in the second deck last night. It should be a pretty good matchup for the Yankees if they can get the ball up in the air.
Let's see if they send Jeter on 3-2. They do. And that one's grounded foul.
Johnny Damon last night, he got that classic spot down middle, down in, and just sweeps the bat head deep up into the second deck. So the shoulder problem's not affecting him on that swing. Obviously, it's the right shoulder where he extends. The left shoulder is giving him problems.
Send him once, you usually send him again. There he goes. Foul back. Jeter's getting in his running. Now, how many times does it start to get annoying, Paul? 4 foul balls?
Yeah, I mean, it becomes comical after a while because you keep doing the same thing over and over again. You just hope he puts it in play or it's a ball 4. But, I mean, your job here, it's funny, is you know, not to get picked off. You're in motion. He's going to protect you. But then all of a sudden, about halfway, if the guy strikes out, you realize, I'm dead. So, you know, you got to keep that in mind that you got to steal this base if he swings through.
There he goes. 3-2 is upstairs. So 2 walks by Weaver. And the Yankees are in good shape. First and second, nobody out here in the first.
Weaver looks like he's having a little trouble with the fastball. That was a 3-2 changeup, and that's been a good pitch for him against the lefties. It looked like he got underneath it, pushed it a little bit, and Mark Teixeira again. Another good opportunity to get going here if he can get a big hit with runners in scoring position.
Well, Teixeira is happy that April's in his rearview mirror. He hit 200 during April. He's 2 for his last 20, but he has 9 walks during that period. And there's a strike. March and April, 249 hitter. Then he goes to 288 in May. His best month is August. And September, October, not too bad. Hit sharply to first. Knocked down by Quinlan. And he makes the play at first as the runners move up.
I mean, these are the things that happen when you're struggling a little bit. You try to hook one down the line. Quinlan at first base, your job is to knock that ball down, but he makes a good throw to Weaver. Gets an out. Again, when things aren't going well, it seems like every ball you do hit well seems to go at somebody.
That's going to bring up Matsui. He carries a 10-game hitting streak into this one. Jeter's at third. Damon's at second. Infield is back. Off-speed pitch upstairs, 1-0.
Hideki Matsui, first pitch swinging last night, had an RBI base hit right back up the middle. See, now he's got his legs underneath him a little bit better. Solid base. Driving the ball to the middle of the field. Jared Weaver, you're in a little trouble right now. You got a guy locked in at first base open. You have Robinson Cano on deck. It's a 17-game hitting streak. You see Hideki's numbers, 395 and a 10-game hitting streak.
High fly ball, right field. Matthews backs up. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Jeter. He'll score. Moving to third is Damon. It's a sac fly for Matsui, and the Yankees are on the board. They lead 1-0.
Well, when Matsui is going well, he's always been a good situational hitter. And right here with the man on third base, his job is to get that first run, and especially in the first inning. This ball is a little away. An unorthodox swing, a little out front, kind of pulls the changeup, but he did the good thing right here, and that's get the ball in the air. Kind of reaches for it. I never understood, and I can't really explain. You'll see that front hip. It's just his style of hitting, just flying open, but a lot of times those hands stay back, which allows him to keep the bat head over the plate.
Here's Cano. And the pitch outside, 1-0. He did not want April to end. A great month for him. In stark contrast to last year, hitting 366. 17-game hitting streak. That's the longest streak he's had in one season. There's a ground ball up the middle and through. It's an 18-game hitting streak. It's a 2-0 Yankee lead. Damon scores.
These are the big hits, too. The 2-out RBI base hits. Watch how quiet Robinson Cano is. Not a lot of extra movement in that setup. Head right down, drives it right back up the middle. Really has a quiet approach going to begin this year. Really started in spring training or at the end of last year. And it's just carried through.
You know, it's funny, and when your mechanics stay well, you see Weaver a little irritated to give him that good a pitch to hit. But when everything's going right and you talk about quiet, everything's in balance. Even the ground balls that you hit are hit just a little bit harder. Get through the infielder, get away. You know, they get through and they score runs, and that's where the confidence comes as a hitter. I would think, you know, as a catcher right there, Flash, I mean, you've got a guy that's as hot as anybody in the league with a base open. You know, you've got to try to make perfect pitches on him. You can't give him a fastball right down the middle.
Here's Posada. Inside.
You know, it's funny being an ex-catcher and looking at this Yankee lineup. There are two guys that you really want to attack right now. Mark Teixeira and Pena, the number 9 hitter. Everybody else is swinging the bat. Melky Cabrera, Swisher, Posada, Cano, Matsui, Damon, and Jeter. If you're Jared Weaver, those 2 walks to start the ball game, it's not a good sign.
Driven deep to right field. Going back, Matthews. Looking up. See ya! 2-run home run. Jorge Posada. And the Yankees are up 4-0.
Posada with his 4th home run of the year. I mentioned the 2 walks to start off the ball game for the Yankees. Base hit by Robinson Cano. And Jorge just gets a fastball right down the middle. No doubt about this one to right center field. You can tell by the outfielder, Matthews, that's a courtesy jog right there. Super slow-mo. You see that front foot get down. The hands follow. Nice extension. Home run number 4 and a 4-0 lead.
Here's Nick Swisher. And there's a strike. That's the 29th home run that's been hit here at Yankee Stadium. That ties the stadium with Municipal Stadium in Kansas City, Enron Field in Houston, and Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati for the most home runs hit over the first 8 games of a venue. As for Weaver, all 5 home runs that he's allowed this year have been to left-handed batters.
He's given up all solo shots until that one from Jorge Posada with Robinson Cano on first. Andy Pettit's got to feel pretty good about things.
The 0-2. Got him. Couldn't get out of the way. A rough inning for Weaver.
An 0-2 count, just trying to get him off the plate a little bit. Hits him in that right elbow. And Swisher just takes it, jogs down to first base. Gene Monahan and Joe Girardi are going to go out and take a look at him, but ooh, right off the back of that elbow.
Kind of numbs things up. All of a sudden you don't want to look at it, but that elbow starts getting a little tighter in that sleeve.
Now, it doesn't seem as if he has any kind of protection on that elbow, a la Jason Giambi. It's just a sleeve, so that hit him flush, and he's obviously in pain. See it in slow motion, and it hurts just as much. And it looks like he's going to stay in.
Pay attention during the ball game to see if that stiffens up. I mean, that's something right now you want to gut it out, but later on, out there working on your swing in the outfield, Paul, maybe that stiffens up a little bit.
And Melky takes a pitch low. Overall 327, 11 for his last 32. He has a 5-game hitting streak, during which time he's 9 for 26. And he has taken over the center field job. Count 1-1.
Well, impressed with Melky last night, obviously getting that base hit to put the Yankees ahead, but it really looked like he was in control of what he wanted to do. A situational at bat, just kind of shortened up his swing, hit a nice line drive to right field, put the Yankees ahead. It seems like he's maturing as a hitter. He's getting opportunities this year.
That's right.
He's in position every day that, you know, he's getting an opportunity now because he's gotten hot, he's hitting, but in his rearview mirror he knows there's somebody that wants to play also. So you have that push and that drive every single day at the ballpark, because I mean Melky Cabrera does not want to be a role player. He doesn't want to be considered a role player. He wants to be an everyday player.
Ground ball is short. They go the short way for 1, and there was 2 outs anyway. So that was they were trying to get 4 outs in the inning. That's how discombobulated they were, and they actually fooled me as well. So the Yankees get 4 runs, 2 of them on 1 swing. Jorge Posada goes yard, his 4th home run of the year. We've played 1. It is 4-0 Yankees. The Angels, both 1 o'clock starts, both on Yes, and then the Red Sox flying into town Monday and Tuesday night at 7, both of them on Yes. Mike Napoli was up when Torrey Hunter got picked off by Andy Pettitte, and so he gets a fresh count. The count now 1-0. 2-0.
He gets a fresh count. He also had a couple of pitches to gauge what kind of stuff Andy Pettitte had, maybe how they were going to pitch him. See if he can take advantage of that here in the second.
And Pettitte goes 3-0 on Napoli. Pettitte deals. There's a strike. Count 3-1.
Michael, I just want to tell you, I went back to the cafeteria here to get a little tea. I hope you're not a cheesecake or a carrot cake fan, because I'm telling you what, they're ready to throw blows back there. They're in a line taking the last pieces back there.
I am not a carrot cake fan, so I'm okay.
I was going to tell you to go get in line.
Mike Napoli works a walk to start up the second.
Andy Pettitte can't be real happy with that. You get a 4-0 lead and you walk the leadoff guy.
Here's Howie Kendrick. And there's a strike. Yankees can't get him out. 476 hitter against the Yanks.
Howie Kendrick, I mean, he likes the bright lights. I mean, 476 against the Yankees. I mean, that shows you how he likes to hit here. Stay on the field. I mean, that's his big thing. Can he stay away from injuries? He's an unbelievable hitter, but he's been, just plagued with injury, leg problems most of his career. And power potential, I mean, he really hasn't put up that 20, 25 home runs. That's still a big question mark whether this guy is going to show up with power. But I tell you, as a player, just to look at him hit, he's a solid, good hitter. It's just trying to get him out on the field day in and day out.
The 0-2. What makes him such a good hitter? What do you like about him?
Well, I mean, his balance is good. There's not a lot of movement. He's not lunging. He's quick enough to get to the ball by waiting, and he uses all parts of the field. There's really, Flash, I mean, if you looked at him, there's really no sure way to get him out.
Well, that's what I like. He uses the whole field. He kind of sets himself up. He's a little closed, aiming towards right center, it looks like. But you throw a ball inside, he's got quick enough hands to pull it.
This could be a double play. Bobbled by Jeter. He gets one. No return throw. So the bobble cost them the double play. Can't assume the double play, so there's no error.
Talked about it in the G pitcher scouting report. Andy Pettitte has not had a double play all year, and this was tailor-made. Derek Jeter doesn't come up with it clean, but make sure that first out. You have a 4-0 lead. You don't want to rush it too much and leave everybody out on the bases. Make sure that first out and go back to work.
Amazing. Andy Pettitte always lived by the double play. 18 opportunities, no double plays. Now Teixeira will go talk with him.
He's always been a guy who has given up some hits, had some runners on base, but he was one pitch away with that good cutter in on right-handers to get that double play. This year, not really going to the cutter as much, more of an overall pitcher now, using the outside part, curveballs, changeups, sinkers. Not as many cutters in on the hands of the righties.
Count 1-0. Four nothing. Yankees lead. Just underway. Top of the second inning here at the new house, Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. And he does not have great command up to this point. The count 2-0. And the pitch. There's a strike.
Quinlan, a guy who doesn't get too many starts, but he has good numbers against Andy Pettitte, 5 for 12 coming in.
He's kind of a left-handed specialist, a guy that comes in and can fill a void on a team. You know, if you face a tough lefty, you can get this guy in the lineup.
Andy's thrown 34 pitches now, 16 strikes and 18 balls.
Obviously not good. It looks like he has decent stuff, though, decent movement. In one of those ball games, you hope that he finds a rhythm maybe in the middle of the game. So it looks like he's got some velocity. He's got a good cut, a decent curveball. Just can't locate it this point.
Line drive right at Cano. There's a double play. So he gets his first double play, somewhat unconventional double play, but he'll take it. 1 pitch, 2 outs. No runs, no hits. And because of this line drive off the bat of Quinlan, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Yankees lead this one 4-0. Sponsored by Mercedes, and it involves Babe Ruth. He had his first home run as a Yankee in 1920 on this day. Your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers on the web at searchmercedes.com. 89 years ago today. The Bambino. Some of the great pictures here around the new Yankee Stadium. And Ramiro Pena takes the strike.
Funny, I landed today, Michael, and I was going on the radio to hear a little sports talk, and as I missed your station, I had to go back to you. They were talking about the
nice bunt, third base side. Biggins, not in time. A bunt single for Pena.
Good smart play, way to start the inning. But they were going over the heavier athletes. You see Pena. There's such an advantage for that left-handed hitter. Figgins comes up with it, but it's too good of a play, too good of a bunt. The heaviest athletes that were the best.
Right.
And Babe Ruth, they didn't think Babe Ruth was it, and then they went to Barkley. So they came up with George Foreman being the heaviest great athlete.
Well, he won a championship when he was.
He did all kinds of stuff. I mean, now he's even selling grills. I mean. How many Georges does he have, too? He's got about 8 Georges.
He's got a lot of Georges, yeah. Snap throw to first, and Pena got back. He made more from that grill than any fight he did.
Probably. Well, he beat Ali, though, right?
No, Ali beat him.
Oh, that's right.
David Wells on that list?
Boomer. Boomer didn't make top 5. That's amazing. After we had Boomer out in the bleachers opening day, he didn't make top 5.
CeCe's a large man, and he's won a Cy Young Award. Nicky Lolich, former pitcher for the Detroit Tigers. Shaquille O'Neal's a big guy. John, I just get the sinking feeling that Paul's going to start lapsing into heaviest announcers. You just know it. I just
you
have
on
a
Atkins?
feeling.
Absolutely not.
I'd have a lot of competition for that. Count 1-2 on Jeter. Pena is at first. Pena picked up his first Major League RBIs yesterday.
Well, Michael, you talked about that double in his first career Major League RBIs, and they came in a big spot kind of to give the Yankees a little breathing room in the 8th inning. Mariano came on for the save, but really got a feeling in that clubhouse today. His teammates were excited for him. A young kid who's going about it the right way. Just works hard, getting an opportunity to play third base now and taking advantage of it.
Jeter puts one high in the air to left center field. Torrey Hunter makes the catch, and Ramiro Pena scampers back to first. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. Here's Johnny Damon. Another snap go to first, trying to catch the rookie sleeping.
Mathis is proud of that arm. Does a nice job behind the plate blocking balls. A nice quick throw. Not quite as quick as Jose Molina, though. Probably the best I've seen. Drops to the knee. Good snap throw.
When was the last time you threw a ball in anger, John?
Oh, boy. It would have been spring training in 06.
Haven't picked one up since?
In anger?
I picked one up, yes.
In anger.
I picked one up with the kids in the backyard, but that's
How'd
not.
that feel?
Actually, sometimes you get angry, but it wasn't in anger.
The last ball I threw in anger was yesterday, Mike, at Muirfield. I missed a putt and just took the ball and chucked it in the lake.
Popped up. Quinlan runs out of room.
Talk about Mathis behind the plate, and Napoli he catches also, but you know, Weaver, you talked about, is either they're one or they're two, and he's had off to a pretty good start. Mathis has caught a lot of his games, and his ERA has been much better with him. I don't know if it's a personal catcher thing, because you know, Napoli has been, but Napoli has been back there, but Mathis is seems to be in a better rhythm with Weaver. Take no offense to that.
Yeah, you know, I was in a situation in Tampa Bay where Wilson Alvarez was our #1 guy, and he preferred to throw to Mike DeFelice, who was the backup. And you know, you take it personally, but the most important thing is the pitching staff.
Shattered bat. Pop up to right center. Torrey Hunter makes the catch. Let's see if they can turn two. Quinlan couldn't hold on to the ball. A little bit of a wide throw.
Well, Torrey Hunter has won 8 Gold Gloves in center field for a reason. He comes in and gets this easily. And Pena's lucky. If this throw is on line, he's doubled off.
Kind of double clutch that out of the glove, too. If he comes up with that cleanly, I mean, he's probably out. See that? Just doesn't come up with it on the first try. Kind of, as a fielder, kind of knocks you out of rhythm where you don't have everything behind the throw.
Mark Teixeira takes a strike. Hey, the Angels know about Teixeira. 54 games with them last year. He hit .358. Hit safely in 49 of the 54 games. And they wanted him back. But he ended up coming to the Yankees.
Torrey Hunter was pretty vocal of trying to bring him back.
There's Artie Moreno, the owner of the Angels. And he wanted Mark Teixeira back as well, but there was a cutoff point that he didn't want to go higher than that. Runner goes, throw to second is out of time. Stolen base for Pena.
Joe Girardi talked about Pena in spring training. He said, you know what, he does the little things. He bunts, obviously bunted for a base hit here in this inning, gets a good jump on an 0-2 count. Mathis a strong throw just up the line a little bit, but the more you see Pena play, the more you like him. Does all the small things.
That's his first stolen base ever in the big leagues. Strike 3, and Teixeira down looking. In the second, no runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We played 2 at the stadium, and the Yankees lead the Angels 4-0 on Yes. Well, the Yankees are lucking out this weekend. They don't have to face Vladimir Guerrero out with a torn pectoral muscle. On the Modell scoreboard, Yankees lead 4-0. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the Yankees. The 0-1. Tap towards second base. Cano. 1 away. Let's take a look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios. Over 100 HD channels and the fastest internet. This is Fios. This is big. CC Sabathia goes for the Yankees. Matt Palmer will go for the Angels. Batting practice show at noon. Pregame at 12:30. First pitch right around 107.
Well, you saw Vladimir Guerrero watching this one, and you see a guy like Palmer starting tomorrow you never heard of. You know, you look forward to seeing him.
Ibar with a push bunt. That's a base hit. Beautifully placed. Once Teixeira had to field the ball, it's a base hit.
Yeah, you talk about a team that's just really trying to tread water. I mean, it's 3 major starters out, and they come into the game 9-12. But they're in a division that really nobody's going to bury, and that's the big thing. I mean, if the Yankees were going through this in a better division, you see Ibar. I mean, just a beautiful bunt. Nobody's going to beat him to the bag. Teixeira knows coming up there not even to get rid of the ball. But it's such a luxury for Socha, knowing that, you know, if they can just stay close, that when they get their guns back and they get Guerrero back, that, you know, they're going to be in the thick of things. And this team believes it can win, too, because, it has won out there, and it's done well in the playoffs. And those are big pluses when you go through injuries, knowing that this team has capabilities to come back and win a division.
And it's better news for the pitchers. It sounds like they're going to be back probably towards the end of this month, which is good news. Guerrero probably going to take a little bit longer.
Biggins slaps one into center field. Melky's there in right center. Boy, that ball took off. 2 outs. Oh, they put Brett Gardner in the game. Wonder what happened with Melky Cabrera. No, they moved Melky over to right, and now Swisher with the elbow after he got hit. He's been taken out of the game, so we'll keep you up to date as soon as we find out what's up with Nick Swisher. There's Melky in right.
flash you talked about. I mean, you can rub that thing as much as you want, but when it starts swelling up and that elbow gets stiff, it makes things on the baseball field real difficult.
I'll tell you what, and you try to be brave right off the back of the right elbow, and you try to put on a good face like you're a tough guy, and I'm going to take it and walk down to first base, but I think just stiffened up. Time to get some ice on it.
Leading home run hitter for the Yankees with 7, Nick Swisher is, so they're hoping that he'll be fine.
Good news, you got Gene Monahan and Steve Donahue going to go old school, right? Probably throw a little compress on there, get the swelling out. Boy, nobody better than Gino.
Some good words right there, the compress.
Gary Matthews Jr. lines a single to center. Never stopping his eye bar, he goes right to third. That's what the Angels do. They're aggressive. They make you make plays. So Matthews picks up a single.
Gary Matthews, I mean, they're hoping for better things out of him this year. He had his knee cleaned up a little bit over the offseason. I mean, offensively, he wasn't the player they thought that they had last year. So, especially with flat out of the lineup, a good time for him to start driving the baseball.
See, Ibar doesn't even think about it. Sees the ball, little hesitation, comes around. There's not even going to be a play at third base, even down 4-0. Mike Scioscia and his Angels are going to be aggressive on the base paths.
Big at bat for Bobby Abreu. And there's a strike.
You know, it's funny as you watch Ibar going around second. I remember going around second. If you could make eye contact with the center fielder, it was like he almost relaxed, thinking you weren't going. And if you looked at that play, it almost is as they made eye contact and Gardner thought, he's not going. The next thing you know, he turned it on. And he's got speed. There's no doubt about it. You see it right here. You kind of make eye contact, and all of a sudden, all right, now I'm going.
Well, he flies.
I'm smiling there, Michael. He knows what you're talking about.
Knows he's fast. Let's talk about the group. I'm here with Paul O'Neill and John Flaherty. This is Michael Kay, and you're watching Yankees baseball right here on Yes. Top of the third inning, Yankees lead 4-0. A 4-run outburst in the first inning by the Yankees off Jared Weaver. That's where we stand right now. Second game of the 4-game set.
Yeah, watching Bobby Abreu the last few years, he would pick out one pitch in at bat where he would try to jump ship, and this might be an opportunity here, 2-1. If he doesn't get it, he'll go back to going the other way.
A good pitch to hit there, and you know, you talked about a little bit earlier that, you know, Andy Pettitte was always had the knack. He gets runners, but he has a knack to get that big out. And that ball right there, you see Georgie reaching completely across the plate. He missed it. Abreu had a good pitch to hit there, and those are the ones as a hitter that you know that you had your pitch to hit. You fouled it off. The chances are that Andy will make a good pitch now, and then you'll look back at that at bat and know that you wasted one.
Sometimes Abreu almost becomes a better hitter in this count right here, 2-2, where he just says, all right, I'm not going to try to think about right field. I'm going to think middle the other way. And a tough two-strike hitter. We've seen that the last couple of years here in New York.
He's thinking about a stolen base, and they said, hey, that was a balk, but it wasn't. He stepped off.
Take a look. As long as he steps off with that back foot, which he clearly did. He's got to be getting in his head a little bit now. The guy's getting on third base because of Ellsbury Sunday in Boston. Now all of a sudden, Andy's got some things going on up in his head. Want to make sure that you kind of have that stare over your shoulder to freeze that runner if you can. Make sure you're paying attention to him. And all of a sudden, Andy Pettitte is worried about the runner on third, the runner on first, and you have a tough hitter and Bobby Abreu at the plate with 2 outs.
You see Matthews not getting a big lead at first either. This is one of Andy Pettitte's things where, you know, you show some things at third, and then you go ahead and pick that guy off at first. But Matthews always saw Torrey Hunter do it earlier in the game.
Boy, Joe Girardi sprinted out of the dugout, probably said, hey, come on. And now this is in your head. You got to stop. Just get the batter. He was bill to bill with him.
That didn't look like a two-way conversation, did it? I think that Girardi realizes what's in his head, but he also realizes there's 2 outs and one good pitch and they're out of this inning.
And 1 bad pitch and it's a 4-3 ball game.
Right.
I mean, you got to make sure you're bearing down on Bobby Abreu.
Nice block there by Posada.
It is a good block. It's kind of that in-between, stays down a little bit. Didn't get all the way down, but got lucky. Hit him right in the chest protector. Saved the run.
So the count is full. That will release Matthews at first. And the pitch. Just got a piece to stay alive. It was funny that Jose Reyes of the Mets was talking before the season about how he wanted to steal home in a straight steal to honor Jackie Robinson. And after Jacoby Ellsbury did it, he said, now I'm going to do it, especially when there's a left-hander on the mound and they go into windup. I mean, why don't you just give him all the plans?
He won't be in the scouting report.
Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. So the bases are loaded, and Torrey Hunter, the cleanup hitter, comes up.
3 consecutive breaking balls, 2-2 and 3-2 breaking balls. So they had their mind up how they were going to get him out.
Got to be careful here. The pitch count at 49. Torrey Hunter looked at 4 straight pitches his first at bat. He never does that. I mean, this guy's an aggressive hitter. He's going to be ready to go from the first pitch here from Andy Pettitte. Better make it a quality one.
Bases loaded on the Ellsbury steal, incidentally, but there was a left-handed batter at the plate. Now Torrey Hunter, the right-handed batter. Count 0-1. 10 grand slams for Torrey Hunter. Cutter inside.
Looking at this situation is Garrett Anderson is a guy they really miss in the middle of this lineup. Very disciplined hitter. You think about Torrey Hunter and even Vlad when he's in line. 3 swingers. It can kind of spread the zone on them where guys like Garrett Anderson really locked in and made you throw strikes.
Tap right side slowly fielded there by Cano, and Pettitte works into and out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 3 men left. Andy has certainly labored through 3 innings, but he is not allowed to run, and the Yankees have scored 4, so they're up 4-0. Hideki Matsui leads off. And Weaver deals him a strike. Let's take a look at the Modell's scoreboard. Yankees up 4-0. And Modell's is the official sporting goods retailer of the Yankees. Strike. First 9 games, it didn't look good for Matsui. You assumed it was the knee, and since then, 395.
Hideki's always been a streaky hitter, one of those guys that when he gets going, he can carry a ball club, not so much with the home runs, but with the RBI, base hits, run producer.
High fly ball center field. Drifting back. 8-time Gold Glove winner Torrey Hunter. One away. Hey fans, it's time for the Toyota text poll. Tonight's question is, who do you think is the Yankees player of the month for April? You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply, and your choices are number 1, Melky Cabrera, number 2, Nick Swisher, number 3, Robinson Cano, and number 4, Andy Pettitte. I would have a tough time choosing between Cano and Swisher. So a good vote, and we'll find out a little bit later. Who is the fan favorite? Cano takes a strike.
Talked to Kevin Long yesterday, the hitting instructor, about Robbie Cano, and I noticed that he's opened up his stance a little bit more. Spring training, there's Kevin watching a guy on a nice hitting streak. Spring training, he was more even with the pitcher. Now he's opened up with that front foot again. Kevin said, you know what, last year he was striding so much towards home plate, he was almost blocking himself off. So that's why he got him straight up with the pitcher again. He said now he's feeling comfortable, open up a little bit. But the stride is so quiet, and it's right back at the pitcher. He said everything's right on time, obviously, with that hitting streak.
Open up that front, your stance a little bit. It makes it so easy to get to that inside pitch, especially if you don't, rush to get there. And Robbie loves the ball away. So if you take off that inside pitch, you know you can handle a ball away. There's really not, I don't know if you're catching flies, how you'd go about getting Robbie out.
Well, you would hope that this foot, if you're catching to get him out, would come towards home plate, but Robinson's not doing that. He's like picking it up and putting it right back towards the pitcher. You see, you probably end up somewhere around there, or even a little bit more open. So you don't want to pitch him inside because he's not blocking himself off.
Right.
He's been so hot since they made the change, though, John. Is it wise that they let him go back to what he was doing?
Obviously, I think Kevin Long has now gotten to the point with Robinson Cano after what he did at the end of last year. And then Kevin went and worked with him during the offseason and then the spring. Now there's some trust there. You know what? If you want to open up, I'm going to trust that you can do it. And you can kind of feel where your mechanics are and make some adjustments. But it all comes down to the look on the face. Look at him. Very relaxed. No panic.
2-2. Hit sharply and grabbed there by Kendrick. And from the outfield grass, he guns down Cano, 2 away. And that's going to bring up Jorge Posada in the first inning. Posada, a 2-run home run, his 4th home run of the year. Count 1-0. Mariano doesn't go out to the bullpen until later. Ground ball at first. Quinlan is there, so an easy 1-2-3 inning for Jared Weaver and the Angels. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Mariano, right center, head there, right center, 4-0 Yanks. Hey, it's time for the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. And the question is, 58 years ago today, Mickey Mantle hit his first career home run. Who was the pitcher? Little hint, and we usually don't give hints, against the White Sox. Paul, you know this one, right?
Didn't help.
4-0 Yankees here in the fourth. Napoli, Kendrick, and Quinlan. Fouled away.
You almost get the feeling with Andy Pettitte, the way that third inning went, a lot of work. Torrey Hunter up there, he got a big out from him, but that may be a little wake-up call. I got a 4-0 lead. Things got a little interesting in the third inning. We'll see if we can get on a little roll here. Have a couple easy innings.
Line drive, base hit to left field. So Napoli has walked and singled.
Nice piece of hitting right there. That was not a bad pitch from Andy Pettitte. It looked like a breaking ball down. Napoli just went and flicked it to left field.
You see, he has a real stiff arm when he hits, even when he drove that ball out to right center last night.
Andy Pettitte, you're saying it's going to be one of those nights to make a quality pitch down. Still give up the base hit to left field.
You know, John, so many people think that Paul and I really don't get along. And because they think that, I brought Paul a gift today because I know that he likes desserts and stuff like that. Take a look at this. This is in honor of Phil Rizzuto. Line drive right at Pena. Fires across. Not in time. Well, Paul, your eyes lit up when I opened this box.
You just
take a look.
Right in front of me, too.
Look at that.
You're not eating that thing.
No, I'm not. That's all yours, man.
That's just because you're on a diet this week or
that
something.
Is
You'd
all
be
yours,
tied
man.
into them already.
They look good. Which one do you want?
I'll take one of each when it's over.
And there's a strike. Count 1-1. Quinlan lined into a double play. That was in the second.
First double play for Andy Pettitte this year, and it was not a ground ball. Line drive double play, but as Paul said, Quinlan, kind of that left-handed specialist, career 305 against left-handed pitching.
High fly ball, right field, Melky over, and he'll make the play for the second out. So 2 down. There's a shot of the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar. At Mohegan Sun, you'll find a million different ways to play with something for everyone. Visit MoheganSun.com for more information.
You were out there, weren't you, opening day, Flash? Did you get a look out there?
I didn't make it out there. I made it out to the Great Hall. I think that was Bob Lorenz hanging out there. You know, that's not unusual for him to be hanging out in a sports bar, so he felt very comfortable out there.
Bob back at the studio right now. I hope he's keeping score. Who ripped him? It wasn't me. It was you. Runner goes. There's a strike and a stolen base for Mike Napoli.
Napoli, one of those guys, a catcher who has decent speed. Was he run well for a catcher? Had 7 stolen bases last year. This will be the first one of this season. Gets a great jump. Goes on first move.
Again, we talked about that. I mean, there's no read on that move. I mean, he's going on, and that's just a guess from Mike Scioscia from the bench. I mean, you know, we're going to go on first movement right here, and it just worked out.
Two-1. 2-2.
Plus, don't you feel like running is kind of making a resurgence, kind of coming back into the game? I mean, 4 or 5 years ago, guys were hitting 50 home runs. Nobody ran. Now it seems like you're seeing more players run. You're seeing more guys, hit and run. It's almost like it's coming back to the game again.
2-2, strike 3. Mathis down looking and does not like the call, so Andy Pettitte has a somewhat easier inning than the previous. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man stranded at second base. Pettitte with the pitch right on the outside corner. We go to the bottom of 4. Time to take a look at the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz answer. 58 years ago today, Mickey Mantle hit his first career home run. Who was the pitcher? Randy Gumpert. You're familiar with his work, Paul?
Yeah. Shrimp. Wasn't it shrimp or something like that?
4-0 Yankees lead. And Brett Gardner, his first at bat, is down in the count 0-2. Now, you said that when you first came up with the Reds, you were kind of in a platoon situation, right? So Gardner and Melky are battling each other for center field. Strike 3, Gardner down looking. So obviously the politically correct answer is, well, I'm pulling for my teammate to do well. When you were in a platoon, were you rooting for that other guy to do well, or did you want him to do poorly so you could get the job?
I mean, you want teams to win, and when you're not out on the field, you're hoping the team wins. But you're trying to, my point was earlier when I was talking about Melky, is you're trying to make yourself win that job to be an everyday player. Not every, especially young players, don't want to be role players. They still believe they can play every day. And so what you do is you come to the ballpark on the days that you're playing, and you're going to make the most of it. You're going to prove to Joe Girardi that I deserve to be out there every single day.
Here's Melky right now with an 0-1 count. And I guess I'm asking the unthinkable question, though, John. Melky's the starting center fielder now. He's taking the job away from Gardner. When Gardner's sitting on the bench, is he rooting for Melky? That's what I mean.
Oh, like Paul said, you're pulling for your guy to do well because you want the team to win. But when you get an opportunity like Gardner just got right there, I mean, obviously Nick Swisher leaves the game and he takes 3 pitches for a strikeout. You're trying to open up some eyes again, and there's clearly pressure on Brett Gardner to do that now, every chance he gets. But I don't think you could be a good teammate rooting for a guy not to do well because you want to get in there.
Well, how about, let's say the game is, it's a 9-0 Yankee lead, and Melky's up. You think he wants Melky to hit a home run there? Honestly.
All right, so look at it this way.
Melky grounds out to Weaver.
Seldom are you going to win a job by somebody else doing bad. Right. You're going to win a job by opening the eyes and showing that you deserve to be out there. So, I mean, you put the weight of it on your own shoulders. You don't wait for the other guy to do bad. You go out How's that sound, Michael?
It sounds reasonable. So right now, Gardner, this is his chance. He's 5 for his last 33 now. He's got to make the most of these chances.
I agree. And, you know, for a lot of young players, they'll say, oh, I never got a chance. I didn't get a chance to prove myself. Well, you know what? In the big league level, that chance might be a few at-bats. It might be a month of at-bats. You don't know what it's going to be. You have to make sure you take, when the door opens, you got to be ready to walk through it.
Not too many people are Derek Jeter, who walk out in 1996 opening day, say you're the starting shortstop, and you end up being a Hall of Famer. Most people have to win jobs by opportunity, and mostly come by injuries. People get hurt. You get a couple weeks, and you know, Nick Swisher might be out tomorrow. Who knows? He might be out a day. Where you get a couple days, you get a couple hits, and that's what managers do. They put you back in there.
Now, Cody Ransom did not take advantage when Alex Rodriguez is out. And this young man, Ramiro Pena, is serving notice that even when Alex gets back, you know what, I'm here. I've shown that I could do some things for this team. So he is taking advantage. The 1-2.
And think about it, leaving spring training, you never would have thought that Pena would get an opportunity to play every day and do what he's done. You thought he'd be a nice little utility guy, maybe pinch run, maybe play some defense. Now he's a starting third baseman for the New York Yankees and doing a nice job.
No, on the other hand, Michael, you know, I got off to kind of a slow start. Kind of mispronounced a few things, a little stuttered, and I looked over at Flash, and I'm thinking, man, I hope Michael screws up here soon, so I kind of look better, you know?
You know what? That doesn't shock me.
Oh, all right. It's still early in the game, too, so you got some time.
I got a lot of foul-ups in me, believe me. The 2-2. Tries to pull an outside pitch and grounds it to Kendrick. And Weaver certainly settled down. He has retired the last 9 in a row. We've played 4 at the new house. Yankees lead 4-0 right here on Yes. Wow, very, very bitter. You could hear it, and he has every right to be, John. We go to the 5th inning, and the pitch to Ibar is a strike on the Lexus scoreboard. It's 4-0 Yankees. I felt some bitterness in that voice.
I did not sense any bitterness.
Really?
I sense a little pride right there that he has been to some sports bars.
Right.
Very comfortable, and he might be back later on.
Grounded. And there's one away. Well, we'll find out on the post-game, and we'll hear from him again in the 7th. Or if there's any needed updates or drop-ins or anything like that. Cut-ins, as they say in the business.
He doesn't have any perfect games to jinx tonight like last night?
No, the totally messed up Matt Garza's perfect game.
I usually left that stuff up to you. Michael is so good at that stuff. As soon as you got it rolling, Michael would come up and just absolutely jinx you in the locker room. And it's like, most people kept their bats in the container. I kept one in my locker just in case I had to chuck it at him on the way out of the locker room.
Here's Piggins. You know, that's only part of the story, John, because, you know, the Yankees were in the 1998 playoffs after they won 114 games, and they lost a game in Cleveland, and all of a sudden, Mr. O'Neill needed some luck. So I did the pregame show on radio then, did the interview, they won. And he kept coming back to me. He did 8 in a row. So if I was such a jinx, I helped him win the 1998 championship. Great play by Jeter and a great scoop by Teixeira.
So in other words, I just used you.
You used me.
That's right.
How about this play? The IO TV super shot.
Obviously, Figgins can run. Derek Jeter, the backhand, plant that back foot. Nice strong throw. Nice little pick by Mark Teixeira.
Andy approves.
Okay, so Paul O'Neill has a little Wade Boggs in him then, because Boggsy was one of those. You go out to lunch with Boggsy, he gets a few hits. You're going to be on a roll with him for the next couple of days.
Believe me, you're eating chicken too, because there was no other alternative. It was chicken every day.
But the best part, John, was he still remained Paul O'Neill, because like the 7th day in a row, he can't. Oh, do we have to do this? No, we don't know. We better.
Yeah, we better. We got to finish this thing up. We got to get home. That was more of a desperation mode. We were ready to go home, man. We were down 2-1.
Yeah.
So
you got to be desperate to come to me.
That's right. I don't think I started it.
Okay. The 1-1. Base hit up the middle for Gary Matthews. He's 2 for 3. No. I started it. I interviewed you, and then they won, and then you took the ball and ran it up the middle.
I can still remember walking out the stretch, and I'd see him. All right, let's go. Now, let's get it over with. He was always so happy about it.
Here's Bobby Abreu. Bobby in the papers today said he was a little disappointed the Yankees didn't offer him a contract. And Torrey Hunter had a good line. He said, people talk about the economy affecting people. He said, Bobby Abreu lost $11 million, he said, because of the economy. He said he went from $16 million to $5 million. I think the Yankees appreciated the fact that Abreu played well for 2+ years, but they had an 80. I think they didn't love Bobby's defense anymore in right field. They decided to move on. I don't think it was an insult or a diss to his 2 years.
It was a good 2 years. I mean, you can talk about the defense, and we saw a little bit of that last night. A play that Derek Jeter had the base hit, and he booted it, cost another run for the Angels. But, you know, Bobby, for a couple of years here in New York, batting third, driving in 100, hitting close to 300, quality at bats. And Torrey Hunter was talking yesterday to me about what a pleasure it is to watch him take his at-bats. He sees so many pitches, and Torrey feels like he's gotten off to a good start because of Bobby Abreu hitting in front of him.
One thing you can think is Bobby Abreu is so laid back, so kind of soft-spoken. It's almost like, you know, he didn't have that edge that you know, drew attention to him as a player. But, you know, when you pick up the stats or you pick up the, you know, the baseball card, he puts up numbers.
Yeah, it was under the radar. Well, he wanted a multi-year deal too. I think that scared the Yankees away.
And his initial reaction, he didn't want to take a pay cut. Hey, I had a good year. Well, Brian Cashman, the Yankee GM, read the market and said, well, I'm not going to pay that. So the Yankees didn't entertain it, and the Yankees didn't offer him arbitration either, which was a smart move, because if they had, he would have accepted. He probably would have gotten $18 million. Because you get a raise off arbitration. Rain falling here at Yankee Stadium. We are 1 strike away from an official game. Pettit really keeping Matthews close. Just got news on Nick Swisher. X-rays were taken negative. He has a bruised right elbow. 2-2. Check swing. Did he go? No, said Doug Eddings.
Well, they were sticking with those breaking balls with 2 strikes to Abreu. You talked about how, with 2 strikes, he'll stay in the left side of, in the left center, and he will fight that fastball out. But you see that front hip coming out.
Unusual to see Bobby Abreu off balance like that.
Runner goes, 3-2. Off the glove of Pettit. Fielded there by Jeter. And you score that 1-6-3 for the final out of the 5th inning. Pettit slowed it down, and Jeter ran it down and then fired to Teixeira. No runs a hit, no errors. And 1 man left on base. At the end of 4 1/2, we're halfway through, and the Yankees up 4-0. It's official. Derek Jeter leads off in the bottom of the 5th. Breaking ball swung on and missed on the Lexus scoreboard. 4-3-0 Yankees. The Angels have actually out-hit the Yankees, but Andy Pettit has worked out of trouble. So 0-5-0 for L.A.
Flash, some pitchers you just don't see well. And if you watch Derek Jeter's swings all night, it's just like he doesn't pick up the ball well from Weaver. And, he's been behind in the count almost every at-bat, and it's just, for some pitchers, you just don't pick up where their release point is.
Well, Weaver has that exaggerated turn, so for Derek Jeter, who likes to kind of turn his shoulder, it's got to be tough to pick up the ball. It's almost a step right at him, too.
That one's driven to left field. Bobby Abreu is there, and there's one away. Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Well, you guys mentioned how Jeter kind of turns his shoulder, Weaver turns his, and Jeter's now 1 for 11 career against the Angels starter. You can see it's starting to rain a little bit harder here at the stadium. Here's Johnny Damon. It is an official game, 4.5 innings played with the home team leading. Good looking umbrella.
Watching Weaver pitch, his brother Jeff Weaver, who pitched here with the Yankees, and I was able to catch him. He would change his arm angles a lot more than Jared does. He pretty much stays in the same slot, a little bit more up over the top. Thought that always got Jeff in trouble. He would drop down trying to throw that Jeff Nelson little slider and get underneath it. It would just spin, and had a tough time here with the Yankees.
It's funny, though. They're brothers, about it. I mean, they release the ball the same way. They look the same build.
And the 2-2. Line drive. Base hit to center field for Damon. Jeff Weaver was just called up from the Dodgers AAA affiliate, so he's back with Joe Torre.
Ball right down the middle. You look for that movement, but the balls he's had over the middle of the plate kind of lose their movement. See how grip for a four-seam fastball. Didn't quite make it to the catcher's glove, Flash.
To Michael, incredible. You talk about Jeff Weaver, and then he's ready. He drops it right on you. Called up last night.
Yeah, got it all.
Here's Mark Teixeira. So let's see, you attack Lorenz. Now, in your own way, you're attacking me.
I'm giving you a compliment.
I'm giving you a compliment.
Giving you a compliment.
Really?
I did not know Jeff Weaver got called up, and it probably sounded like I gave you a nice little teed it up for him. I had no idea.
The 0-1 popped up and out of play.
Don't try to get in between Bob Lorenz and myself, by the way.
You know, you did that on your own, Dave.
No, I don't think so.
You did that.
Guys like that scare me. Do you know how much free time he's got right now to think about what he's going to say? He's got like 6 innings just to figure out.
And he's got a whole team of comedy writers,
he's got
too.
Post-it notes all over just warming up for you guys.
The 0-2, way outside. I'll tell you guys one thing. I wonder if you've noticed it. Our new Yes booth is luxurious here at the new stadium, but boy, does it hold the heat.
Yeah.
It's a little warm in here.
I haven't noticed, Michael. I'm like bringing wet over here. I'm looking around like, is anybody else sweating? The cameraman's got a sweatshirt on with a hood over here. He's expecting a cold front here anytime soon.
Ground ball to short. And they can't turn two. Hey, Yankee fans, go to MetLife.com/Yankees for your chance to present the MetLife Player of the Month award on the field at Yankee Stadium. Simply visit MetLife.com/Yankees for official rules. There's no purchase necessary, void where prohibited, and sweepstakes sponsor is Metropolitan Life Insurance Company. So 2 away, runner on first base. And there's Jack with the Ranger sweatshirt. That's
chilly night over there.
It's pretty gutsy to be wearing the Ranger sweatshirt today.
He's a proud Ranger fan. You got to respect that, Jack.
Must not have had a T-shirt with a Ranger sign on it. Had to bring the sweatshirt out.
That one is laced into left field. Abreu was there, and that'll do it. In the 5th, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. As we go to the 6th, we run to the souvenir stands and get Jack a Washington Capitals sweatshirt. Little makeshift hat there to guard against the rain. Yankees are leading 4-0, and Torrey Hunter fouls one off. 4-4-0 Yanks, 0-5-0 for the Angels. Yankees won last night's game 7-4. They've won 3 in a row. And bunted down the third baseline, but it will kick foul. Boy, that was in the Angels' game plan today, to bunt against Pettit. Sean Figgins started with a bunt. A lot of people have shown bunts. Eric Ibar bunted for base hit, a push bunt in the third. Now Torrey Hunter tried as well.
Torrey Hunter has hit 8 home runs, gotten off to a great start. Decides to try to drop one down. You pay attention how Danny Cunningham, the groundskeeper, has this field playing. It looks like there's a little roll off there to the left.
And the 0-2. There's Danny Cunningham.
Sure paying attention to the radar and that little window you talked about, Paul.
More windows, Bill Gates, Danny Cunningham. You fans would think I'm crazy talking about the windows. You would go in Danny Cunningham's little office, and it would have the radar, and you'd see these big glob of storms coming. Then he'd point at this little open spot. See, there's a window. There's a window in there, and we can get this game in.
Line drive to center field. It is a base hit off the bat of Hunter, so he leads off the 6th with a single.
You know, when good hitters are going well, it's because they're not afraid of being jammed. And that ball wasn't hit hard, but he stayed level through the zone, got jammed a little bit. The next thing you know, you're on first base and you've started an inning. Ball gets in just on the label. He's strong enough to drive it out to center field.
It was Mike Napoli. First they go over to first. Remember yesterday, John, we were talking about the big screen in center field and how the Flaherty Mansion probably has a gigantic one as well. Well, Kim Jones doing a due diligence because she constantly writes a blog for YesNetwork.com. Asked Paul what size TV he has. 100 inches.
I exaggerated a little bit.
Come on.
102. No, I don't. It's down. But what I was explaining, when you're in Ohio, you've got these houses with rooms that you can dedicate it to a TV. In New York, you can't do that if you're in the city and stuff. So you just help me out, Flash. I'm stuck here.
I hear you, man. I got my basement down there. You can dedicate it to doing research on the Yankee games and the opponents.
We mentioned this yesterday, Paul, that John's TV downstairs is so big they built the house around it because they couldn't have been able to get it in once it was
like Mike Mulligan's Steam Show. Did you ever read that book, Mike? Well, I'm sure you did.
Never. Mulligan's Steam Show.
Mike Mulligan's Steam Show.
What is that?
Well, it was a big steam shovel and it dug the foundation to the house, but then they couldn't figure out how to get it out, so they just built the house over top of it.
Interesting. John, did you ever heard of Mulligan's Steam Shovel?
No. Was it a local writer in Cincinnati?
No,
local author?
That's been a long time ago.
Now the umpires are talking about.
Come on, Danny, get that window. Let's open that window.
They're going to put some drying agent on the mound. Maybe Pettit's footing is starting to get affected. And they come out with a drying agent. And like most agents, it soaks up about 5%.
That was good, yeah, Mike. 5%? That was a deal, wasn't it?
So the rain, it was raining considerably before the game and right at the start, but then stopped. But now it's been coming down for about an inning and a half in fairly steady fashion. So it gets a little slippery on that mound. The Yankees are leading 4-0. We're in the top of the 6th inning here at the stadium. And they're going to give Jorge Posada and the batter some footing as well around home plate. Did you ever talk to the the grounds crew about the way you want it right field? If you wanted the grass short or longer?
There was like a bald spot out there. It's because I would just kind of walk in circles out there, I guess. But Wade Boggs was the one who changed the old Yankee Stadium. I mean, he wanted it so slow in front of home plate because he didn't want any, choppers and things like that going over his head. But I tell you, there were times where you take a full swing and the ball would just stick right in front of the plate. It was just another at bat. I mean, it wasn't a fun. And we used to scream and yell about it, and Danny would just laugh because he wasn't going to change it. I mean, did a great job, no doubt about it.
Isn't that strange that Wade would be more concerned about the defense, because he might have been able to get more hits if it was harder in front?
Well, he knew, or he felt like he was going to hit line drives every bat. He wasn't worried about chopping the ball in front of the plate.
Well, the grounds crew gets the job done. It's starting to rain a little bit harder here at the stadium. Runner on first base, nobody out. Top of the 6th inning, Yankees up 4-0. All of the runs in the game scored in the bottom of the 1st inning by the Yankees. A sac fly by Matsui, an RBI single by Cano, and a 2-run home run by Posada. Since then, Weaver's been strong. Now, Andy has labored. The Angels have had a man on every single inning. His toughest inning was the 3rd, and the Angels left the bases loaded. Through 5, they've left 6 runners on base. Andy 2-1 with a 2.96 ERA coming into the game. The next pitch will be the 89th of the game for him. And that's a base hit off the bat of Napoli. Big turn by Hunter, but he goes back to second.
Look at some of these pitches that Napoli's just driving. I mean, he reached on a good pitch before, and this pitch is away. He drives it the other way. Again, his balance is off, but he keeps the barrel of the bat.
He's strong enough, too. I mean, he has 4 home runs already, but just flicks it, able to drive it out past Robinson Cano. A weaker hitter, you would see that being a nice one-hopper to Robinson for a double play.
Here's a dangerous Howie Kendrick. And there's a strike.
Talk about what a good hitter he was. Earlier in the year, he was hitting up in the lineup with Vlad being hurt and kind of struggling a little bit. 253, you see that? I mean, that's not a typical year for him, so they moved him down in the lineup a little bit. Lately, he's been hot.
Guys, everybody says that every little thing that goes past the hitter's eyes affect the way he hits. How about the droplets off the bill of the helmet? Does that bother a hitter?
It definitely can. So Andy Pettit really paying attention to the runners tonight, but it can. But you would kind of shake your head and get the drops off before you stepped in there and locked in. But look at those eyes. There's a lot of focus from a major league hitter when he steps in there. You're really locked in on the pitcher and where the ball's coming out of his hand.
Funny thing is you'd wipe it with your sleeve or something like that, because you didn't want to use your hand, because then your batting glove would get all wet, and then you wouldn't have a good grip there. So the last thing you want to do is take those batting gloves off the pine tar where you lose a grip on the bat.
Boy, Andy has been preoccupied with the runners the entire game, which you understand, because the Angels use the stolen base as a big-time weapon.
But there's a fine line between paying attention too much in a 4-0 ball game. You got to try to rack up some outs here. Looking for a double play.
He throws to Jeter, who's not even near the bag. And no one's up in the Yankee bullpen. Andy's at 91 pitches right now.
You got to figure in as a 4-run game, man on first and second, no outs, and scoring opportunity is already there. That the running game is really not important right now. Not too many guys are going to.
And the runners go on that ground ball is short. And Kendrick is out, so the runners on second and third with 1 out.
You make your pitch there. I mean, if they weren't running, you probably got a double play, but that surprises me right there. I don't know if that's a hit and run or what's going on there, but down in the game, you got both guys running.
Pretty decent jump. A nice play by Derek Jeter on the run, little flip throw. But at this point in the ball game, in the 6th inning for Andy Pettit, you're just trying to get some outs. And even in this situation here, if you give up a sacrifice fly, you would trade an out for a run here to try to get your ball club back in the dugout.
Pitch up and away to Rob Quinlan. Quinlan's 0 for 2, lined into a double play to second, and then flew out to right.
A veteran pitcher will start thinking about, you know what, I'll give up a ground ball. You know, you don't want to get greedy here, pitching maybe for a strikeout, and then you walk them and bases loaded. All of a sudden, one swing in the back and tie it up here at a 2-0 count. Make a quality pitch, try to get maybe in on his hands or off the end of the bat. Give up a ground ball, trade it for a run, and move on.
It's funny, I look at this Quinlan, and it reminds me a lot of their hitting Mickey Hatcher. His swing, his approach, it kind of resembles them a lot.
Yeah.
There's Mickey Hatcher.
It's funny, a lot of his cuts, a lot of his demeanor, everything kind of looks as if Mickey Hatcher had some good years with the Dodgers. Hitter, that's the one you're so glad you swung through and didn't just chop it and put it in play.
Strike 3, Quinlan down looking. 2 outs.
Quinlan had some words for Hunter Wendelstadt, but it was the pitch before, the curveball in the dirt that he swung at. It's like it's knee high, and a nice catch by Jorge Posada.
A lot of the plate, you can't complain about that.
Now Andy could get greedy. He doesn't have to give up a run. Here's Jeff Mathis, who's 0 for 2.
Runners on third base tonight. Andy going out of the stretch, not pitching out of the windup.
A 1-0. 2-0. Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. 2 runs will score. A big 2-run single for Jeff Mathis. And the Angels are right back in this. Yankee lead is now 4-2.
Michael, you said it. There's no way around it. I mean, that is a big hit for the Anaheim Angels. I mean, you're one pitch away from not scoring a run, and all of a sudden you get a base hit up the middle, puts you right back in the game. Good piece of hitting, staying right up the middle. No easier way to drive in runs from second and third base than driving the ball right back up the middle.
Mathis looks like he's swinging the bat a little bit better this year. Last year only hit 194, but this year looks like he's got a little better approach.
How do you settle it down? I mean, you got to realize that Andy's, I mean, he's high strung as it is. He knows he was almost out of this inning. I mean, you run out there. What do you say here?
You tried to give him some time to digest that, get it out of your system. Now let's go back to work here. We still have a 2-run lead, 2 outs. Let's take care of the number 9 hitter. But you're right, Andy is high strung. Is very hard on himself during the ball game.
Some starring in the Yankee bullpen. And Posada's really worked tonight behind the plate. Another block on the pitch to Ibar.
You know, in hindsight, that's part of his success, is because he strives every single time out there to make every pitch good. And I love playing behind him because of that. I mean, he was in every single game.
This will be his 102nd pitch, 58 strikes so far, and there's another strike. Ibar tonight 1 for 2, a bunt single, a push bunt fielded by Teixeira, and Ibar beat it out. And then grounded to third his other time up. And another ground ball to third, and that one's through Pena into left field. That keeps the inning alive. That'll be an E5 as Ibar reaches, and that'll take him to the top of the order. Now Dave Island will go out and try to settle down Andy further.
Well, Pena has done such a nice job at third base. And it looks like it's skidded off of the grass, and it looks like it's going to be a base hit.
Wow.
You can see the moisture come out of the grass, kind of eats them up a little bit. Some questionable calls on some base hits tonight.
The ball must have just almost gone sideways because Pena looked like he was in front of the ball, and he did. Usually that's going to come up and hit you in the chest on a bad hop, but that ball looked like it actually kicked to the right.
Well, the official scorer is the veteran Bill Shannon, and he gives Ibar a hit. My old radio partner John Sterling used to say, you know what, this is the big leagues. Andy Pettit thought that was an out, and I'm sure that Ramiro Pena thought it was an out.
Two questionable calls tonight. Teixeira had a play that he probably felt like he should have made, the Gold Glover at first base. It's called a hit.
Outside.
See Figgins 0 for 3, and you wonder if maybe the Angels have a new life here. Like you said, Paul, down to 2 outs, a base hit by Mathis. Now it should have been an error, called a base hit. Now all of a sudden they're in business with a chance to possibly tie this game up.
And the count 2-0. Mark Melancon is about ready in the Yankee bullpen. The 2-0 slice foul. The rain has subsided just a bit. A little bit more of a mist right now rather than a downpour. Check swing, did he go? No, said Dana DeMuth.
I always wondered how the home plate umpire will call that swing. As you're a catcher, do you see the bat hit?
No.
So I always wonder how they can make that call without checking.
And now he has really got himself in a jam. Bases loaded with the walk to Figgins. Will Girardi go to Melancon to face Gary Matthews Jr.?
Matthews Jr. is 2 for his last 2 with base hits against Andy Pettit. Joe Girardi is going to make the move.
So for the first time in the young season, Andy Pettit does not give the Yankees 6 innings. He gives them 5 2/3 and also turns over quite a pickle to the bullpen. Andy Labert, that's for sure, was not a pretty outing, but he turns over a 4-2 lead, but a bases-loaded 2-out jam. He gets a hand from the crowd. Mark Melancon will come in to try to get out of it. It is break time. Time for a fresh brewed cup of coffee. Yes, we get our Green Mountain K-Cup coffee system from the same people who bring us our office supplies. WB Mason, who bought? Well, Joe Girardi has to make the call to the bullpen, which is brought to you by AT&T, your world delivered. And Mark Melanson will try to bail out Andy Pettitte. Andy got into the dugout very, very upset with letting this get away in the 6th inning. And you see his line, 9 hits, 2 runs, the 3 runners on base, all his responsibility, 108 pitches. He walked 4, struck out 2. It was not an easy night for Andy Pettitte.
It was a lot of work. I mean, didn't have great control. He had decent stuff, but the Angels also hit some good pitches, made him work a little bit harder than he probably should have. Now Mark Melanson gets in there in a situation, bases loaded, 2 outs. Gary Matthews hitting left-handed. He's hit right-hander as well, 316.
Melanson had a bases loaded, nobody out jam against the Red Sox on Sunday, got out of it. This one he does not get out of. A line base hit past Gardner, and it rolls to the wall. That is going to clear the bases. And a big, big base hit for Gary Matthews. Is he out at third? No, the ball skips away. Backing up beautifully, though, is Johnny Damon. So a 3-run triple for Gary Matthews Jr. And just like that, the Yankee lead is gone. It's 5-4 LA.
Gary Matthews had a couple of hits against Andy Pettitte in a row, gets that front foot down and gets a first pitch fastball right down the middle. We've seen Melanson has a good fastball and a nice curve. Matthews was ready for it, and this wet turf, it's just going to skip all the way to the wall past Gardner. Comes up, does a nice job hitting the relay man. Robinson Cano, it's a good throw, and it's just going to hit Matthews in the back and scoots away. Damage is done, a triple and 3 RBIs.
A huge blow for the Angels, and now here's Bobby Abreu, who has the Angels have batted around. 5 runs here in the 6th inning. Count 1-0.
There's no waiting around there. A veteran hitter, Gary Matthews Jr., has not seen Melanson before. Sometimes a veteran guy will go up there, take a look at an arm angle, some movement, did not wait around. Jumped on that first pitch fastball.
All 5 of these runs have come with 2 outs. 2 singles to open the inning. Then Kendrick grounded to short. Quinlan struck out looking, but Mathis kept it alive with an RBI single. Eric Ibar with a questionable base hit under the glove of Ramiro Pena. A walk to Figgins. Melanson comes on and serves up a bases clearing triple to Gary Matthews Jr. Two and 2. And Jose Veras getting ready. Two. Foul away.
Strange ball game. The Yankees score 4 runs in the bottom of the first. You think you're going to have a nice, easy night with Andy Pettitte on the mound. Now you find yourself behind in the 6th.
Oh, it's funny. I was thinking the same thing. And both quality pitchers, good pitchers that just didn't have good location today. But Andy was in a position all night to win this game. He needed that big out, and Mathis turned this game around with that 2-out single up the middle.
Three-2. And it goes straight up in the air, down the third base line. Oh, what a try by Melanson, but sliding past is Matthews on the walk to Abreu. And the Yankees now trail 6-4. Posada didn't know where it was.
Jorge Posada does a great job of keeping this in front. Blocks it with his left arm, but you can see he can't pick up the baseball. But give credit to Gary Matthews Jr. He was going right when he saw that ball in the dirt. Got a great jump off at third base, a nice slide to the inside of the field. You can see he's very aggressive, hesitates a little bit, and then takes off. Melanson tries to reach back. But that's a quality job of base running by Gary Matthews Jr. Very aggressive.
Boy, Melanson, his legs went one way, his body went another, kind of Gumby-like. Looks like he's okay. Could have really hurt his right knee.
It was funny, that little hesitation you talk about was just nothing but a read. You see Georgie's got the mask right on home plate. He knocks that off. It's amazing how much adrenaline you have in what you want to do offensively when you just hit a triple to clear the bases.
Here's Torrey Hunter. He started this off with a single. And that ball hits the foot of Abreu and kicks away. Cano retrieves.
Another look. You see the secondary. You're taught to read the ball in the dirt. Matthews reads it, a little hesitation, and then takes off. It's just a great read by Gary Matthews Jr.
You always want to be walking towards your target when you're going to read. And if you look at that replay again, I mean, when he went to take off, he was walking towards the plate, and that split second gets him into home plate safely.
Runner goes. Posada throws the second, and the ball goes off of Bobby Abreu, and he is in there. He's perfect. Stolen bases now 11 for 11.
Looks like he took one maybe off the hand. Maybe it was Robinson Cano's trying to swipe the tag on him. Posada comes up in good shape. It's a good, strong throw, but we've seen some of these throws tail away from him. There's some contact with Robinson's glove and Bobby Abreu. Oh, he gets hit with the ball in the wrist.
There's the strike.
Bobby Abreu, like any other player that's been traded away or left an organization, wants to come back and show what he can do.
Driven into right field. Cabrera is there, and he'll put it away. But for the Angels, they take the lead. 6 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. 1 man left. This triple cleared the bases. Melanson came in with the bases loaded, all put on there by Andy Pettit, and Andy could not bear to watch. Well, the Yankees now have to make up a 6-4 deficit as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Jared Weaver staring at a 4-0 deficit through 5. His team comes back with their biggest inning of the year. And Robinson Cano shows bunt, takes a strike. So in the bottom of the 6th, it'll be Cano, Posada, and Gardner. Angels 10 hits to the Yankees 4, 6 runs to the Yankees 4.
It's a huge inning for Weaver. I mean, he gets the lead, and that's the one thing in Anaheim. If you look at their losing records, this is what they haven't been able to do, and that's hold people at the end of the game. Their bullpen, if you get into that bullpen, hasn't been successful to this point.
Yeah, and it used to be the other way around, that you didn't want to see their bullpen with Scott Shields down there, Arredondo as closer type stuff.
Popped up. Ibar calls off Figgins. Let's check in the S Studios with Bob Lorenz. What's up, Bob? Mets have been struggling, just lost 2 out of 3 to the Marlins. And they start a stretch tonight, 5 out of 7 games against the Phillies. Here's Posada. Breaking ball, no bite upstairs.
You give Jared Weaver a little credit. I mean, that rough first inning, he's only given up 4 hits tonight. And really, after that first, the Yankees really have not had too many opportunities to do some damage. A nice sign for a young pitcher, the ability to kind of regroup during a ball game. Mike Scioscia has to like what he's seeing. So many times to see a young starter go out there as a rough first inning, it's going to be a bad ball game out of there in the third.
Slow roller up the middle. Grabbed there by Kendrick. They just got Posada. Well, that is not the strongest part of Jorge's game. He doesn't have great speed, and it showed right here.
Yeah, I thought Ibar might have come across and cut it off, but Kendrick goes on his back foot, kind of has that flip throw.
George, it looks like, you know, you get jammed as a hitter, you get out of the box late anyway, but it looks like he didn't reach this last step, kind of short stepped it, and man, it cost you a base hit right there. See, don't extend out. You get that short step at the end, and you don't get to the base.
Boy, it was close. Ball's within the glove right now. I don't know if it's hit leather. Fouled away. Maybe it hits leather and the foot's down there and it's a tie, but we have HD TV, but not yet 3D TV. I don't know. The umpire hears the pop. That's what he's listening. He listens for the pop of the ball in the glove and watches the foot.
And you can't tell me that an umpire doesn't know who's running, too. I mean, if it's a guy who's an infielder who can run a little bit, he gets the benefit of the doubt on an infield single. Brett Gardner would probably get that call. Jorge Posada does not.
Gardner slaps one the other way and out of play.
Michael, you bring up just that word, slaps it the other way. Brett Gardner has gotten back to the Brett Gardner of last year, kind of just using his hands and trying to slap the ball. He had such a good spring training, driving it with his legs. He's kind of taking a step backwards here at the first month of the season.
Had such a great spring training. Came out of the gate pretty good. And boy, when he's on base, he's a force because he could steal bases. But he's had trouble getting on base. 3-2. And he does get on base. So that is a mistake by Jared Weaver. Time for another look at tonight's Toyota Text Poll. Once again, the question was, who do you think is the Yankees Player of the Month for April? You've been voting at 58772 with your text. Here's how you voted. 47% think it's Nick Swisher. 33% think it's Cano, then Cabrera, and Andy Pettit. We thank you for your texting. Here's Melky Cabrera. Yankees down by 2. How much does a slow track take speed away from you, Paul?
Well, I think if it's really muddy, I think this field, I mean, you still see guys moving real well. You don't see anybody slipping, so I wouldn't think that you would think twice if you're in a running situation.
Did you guys ever wear metal spikes, or was it always plastic?
Oh, metal.
Metal.
All the time, right through the end?
I would wear some plastic maybe on a turf field. You know, it all depended on the batter's box. If it was a box that you could really dig into, you could use the plastics. But pretty much every day it's the metal spikes.
Sliced down the left field line and out of play. You hear stories of the old days with Ty Cobb that he would actually sharpen his metal spikes.
I think those old stories are true.
I bet you they are. He would spike the second baseman.
You got to think here with 2 outs and Brett Gardner at first base. I mean, Pretty much a perfect situation. Try to get into scoring position for Melky Cabrera, one of your hottest hitters. Even if you get thrown out, you have 8-9. Melky leading off next inning.
We checked out infield hits. Paul, you had 233 in your career. John Flaherty had 59. I didn't have any.
I was going to say, yeah. Can't you just see Michael digging in the Little League? Just helmet flying off.
It was digging.
Big old head going down the line.
Barcliff Getty uniform straining at the
seams.
At the seams, yeah. It's a rough go.
Weaver doing a nice job changing up the timing of his delivery to home plate. Brett Gardner having a tough time sizing him up, getting a good jump.
It'd be very hard to run on. I mean, he slide steps. He's quick to the plate. He holds runners. He doesn't get in certain times.
Driven to right field. And a nice play by Matthews, who got a good jump running into the corner to make the final out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base. 6 in the books. Let's go to the 7th at the new house as the Yankees trail the Angels 6-4.
Tomorrow afternoon on Yes, the Yankees play Game 3 of this 4-game set with the Angels. Coverage starts at noon with batting practice today, presented by Audi, and the pregame. Then Michael Kay, Paul O'Neill, and I have the call from the booth. Angels, Yankees tomorrow starting at noon, only on Yes.
Now here at the stadium, the Angels lead the Yankees 6-4. We're in the top of the 7th inning. New Yankee pitcher is Jose Veras. Pettit started. Melanson came on and gave up a bases-clearing, bases-loaded triple. You see what Veras has done so far this year. He's had his great moments, and he's had his rough moments. That's why he has the 5.73.
It's no secret with Veras. I mean, if he would just attack the strike zone, he's got plenty of stuff to get hitters out. Mike Napoli having a nice ball game.
First time in his whole career that Veras did not pitch winter ball. And he said, not a good excuse, but I just felt rusty. He goes, also, the cold weather, he said, which is another terrible excuse. He said, I've got to get past that because I know I'm going to pitch in cold weather in April. He said, I think I'm feeling it now.
Throw 95 miles an hour. I mean, you cut the plate in half. You don't pitch the corners. And what we've seen, maybe he comes in at the beginning of innings, he's a little bit too fine, gets behind in the count here, behind 2-1.
But John, the way he throws, max effort, is there any way he could ever have great command?
It can get better. I look at it like he doesn't miss by much. I mean, that pitch just misses a little bit up, or he'll just miss a little bit off. So it shows you he's not that far away. Cut the plate in half and go in and out.
There's a strike.
And I'll tell you how you can help your control. You don't have to throw great strikes. Just throw strike one. Then that plate gets big. If you're behind, then you have to make good pitches. If you get off to hitter after hitter, strike one, that plate gets much easier because the hitter's expanding.
And he misses upstairs, so Napoli has been on base all 4 times. 2 walks and 2 singles and a run scored. Hey, Sunday on Yes, after the Yankees close out with the Angels, don't miss an all-new WB Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show. Joe addresses the recent injuries in the bullpen and the lineup and looks ahead to the series with the Bo Sox in the Bronx. It's an all-new Joe Girardi Show, Sunday at 5, only on Yes. Here's Howie Kendrick. Pitch is high. Rough night here at the stadium with the rain. 44,058 paid their way into the ballpark. Napoli leads off first. Fouled away.
And you can't forget about Napoli over there at first base. Had some stolen bases last year as a catcher, stole a base earlier. Veras with that long delivery to home plate, be a good opportunity to run.
Edouard Ramirez begins to throw. Line drive, base hit to left field for Kendrick. Napoli stops at second. And the Angels first and second, nobody out.
We talked about Kendrick. I mean, here's another fastball. That ball out over the plate. Kendrick just too good of a hitter to get him two fastballs out over the plate.
And they go over their defensive signals. Maisa Estouras is going to pinch hit for Rob Quinlan. Yankees playing for the bunt, and they get it, but he bunts it back to the screen.
Not easy to bunt a hard thrower like Veras, and I mean, if he had better control, you'd like him to throw the ball up high. It'd be a tough pitch to bunt. In this situation, I think you probably let him bunt, get the bunt down, and make a play and get an out, and then go from there.
There's a strike. How do you take the bunt off if you're Socha? Along with Paul O'Neill and John Flaherty, I'm Michael Kay, and you're watching Yankees baseball right here on Yes. We thank you for spending part of your Friday evening with us. We're in the 7th inning, and the Angels lead the Yankees 6-4. Not bunting. Off-speed pitch just misses. Count 1-2.
thing to come off the bench and know you're going up to bunch. You don't really get loose to hit. All of a sudden you miss the first two, and now you're in a hitting situation. Pitch hitting's tough enough.
It's a bad feeling when you go up there to bunt. You foul the first one off. You take the second one for a strike, and now you're like, oh, now I'm in big trouble. Thinking I better come through with a base hit here, or at least try to advance the runner somehow.
Count 2-2, and Veras is really close to working himself into a major jam.
Are pitch hitters different knowing they're coming off the bench?
Sure, there are some guys who are going to look for a fastball. Other guys, they're a little tight. They might look for an off-speed pitch. It's all about scouting reports.
Oh, straight back here.
And there were times where you had the day off and you were asked to go pinch hit, and I'm just looking at the pitcher and looking at the catcher, thinking, man, if these guys only knew I got no chance of hitting right here pinch hitting. But pitchers, I mean, you stick with how you have faced the guy in the past and what he's done off him.
This tourist hanging in there. And the pitch. Missed outside, now 3-2.
Jose Veras had a little look in for Hunter Wendelstedt, the home plate umpire, but it looked like it was another breaking ball around the plate on the outside corner.
Three-two. High pop-up, right side. Teixeira runs out of room. Veras deals again. And the longer pinch hitter's up there and the more pitches that he sees, the better chance he has of getting hit.
Timing, it's funny as a hitter, you get up there early in the count, pinch hitting, and the more that, you're right, the longer the count gets, the more loose you get everything. You're starting to see the ball, but you got to remember, he went up there to bunt. Now all of a sudden he's put together pretty good at bat.
The 3-2. Grounded through the right side for a base hit. Napoli rounds third. He's coming home. The throw will go into second. It's an RBI single for the pinch hitter Estouris, and the Yankees now trail 7-4.
It's a pretty good at bat for Estouris right there. You get behind 0-2. You don't get the bunt down. You take a second strike, and then you foul off pitch after pitch. Finally, you get one up in the zone. Just roll it over between the hole first and second. Mark Teixeira immediately went to first base. Did not think that he had a play on him. Melky comes up, doesn't have a play on Napoli at home. The Angels up 7-4. Nobody out here in the seventh.
Now Veras against Mathis. A sudden turn of events here for the Yankees, up 4-0 through 5, then 6 in the sixth, and 1 in the seventh. Angels looking for more. There's a hard slider strike. 0-1.
Mathis, the big at bat for Andy Pettit in the sixth inning with 2 outs, came through with a 2 RBI base hit. Finds himself in a nice hitter situation here. First and third, nobody out.
The 0-1. Good hard fastball. And the count 1-1, 95 miles an hour.
said Mathis looks a lot better at the plate this year than he did last year. Only hit 194, did hit some home runs. He's got a nice little setup where he gets on his back leg. Lets the ball travel a little bit longer.
Breaking ball outside. Count 2-1. Crowd getting restless. I'm sure that Joe Girardi's getting restless. Squeezes on. Varus Fields takes his time and then flips the first. So Kendrick scores on the squeeze bunt by Mathis, and now it's 8-4.
I tell you, Mike Scioscia, I mean, here's a guy that's kind of been all over the place, but you pick a pitch, you call the squeeze bunt, you surprise everybody, putting this game out of hand.
And Jose Varus, who allowed this squeeze bunt with Kendrick scoring, gets booed as he leaves the mound. Joe Girardi will go to the bullpen to call on Edouard Ramirez. A 4-0 lead has turned into an 8-4 deficit in an eye blink. For the WB Nation postgame, Bob Lorenz will be back in the studio to recap all the action from this game against the Angels. And Kimberly Jones will work the clubhouse with the reaction from the team. It's the WB Nation postgame, and it's right here on Yes. Well, Jose Varus was not effective whatsoever. And now they turn it over to Edouard Ramirez, the Yankees' fourth pitcher. Pettit, Melanson, Varus, and Ramirez. Runner at second. Big healthy cut by Ibar, 0-1. You see Ramirez, and a lot of the Yankee relievers have those bloated ERAs. 11 hits in 8 1/3 innings. 8 walks, too many. 19 base runners in 8 1/3 innings. Line to right field coming on is Cabrera. He's going to have to play it on a hop. And they hold Astores at third. So base hit for Ibar. He's got 3 hits tonight. First and third, still 1 out.
A lot of reasons to smile when you have 3 hits. We'll take a look at it. Looks like a changeup out in front, off the end of the bat. Melky Cabrera has no play except to come in, and he unloads a strong throw to hold Astores at third. Never a question about Melky's throwing arm.
There's Sean Figgins now, with Ibar leading off first. And the pitch outside. And it's an 8-4 Angels lead.
Paul, I was just thinking about Andy Petty. We talked before about how hard he is on himself. I'm sure sitting in that clubhouse right now watching what's going on. He's got to be kicking himself. 4-run lead in the first inning.
He battled all the way to the 6th, you know, and he's one pitch away from getting out of that, and then all of a sudden, you know, the bullpen comes into play again. And it's funny, you go through times where you're not playing well, but then you put a little spurt together, win 3 in a row, but then you come back to a game where you lose, and the weakness shows up again, and it's been you know, the late relief.
The 1-0. Well, Dino Ebel, the third base coach, is getting quite a workout, because where Mike Scioscia's given the signs, after each pitch, the third base coach runs full speed to where he could actually see Mike Scioscia. So he's back there when the batter is awaiting the pitch, and then full jog. And that one, as he peers in, trying to get an angle on Scioscia. And then he gives a sign and will back up in his workout. And he walked him. Boy, the Yankee bullpen really having a bad night. And the bases are loaded. Still 1 out. And Gary Matthews has done a lot of damage tonight, comes to the plate.
See the look of frustration on Joe Girardi's face. A lot of his relievers coming in, get behind in the count, not pitching to contact. Gary Matthews swung at the first pitch. He saw his last at bat for that triple, driving in 3. I think with Ramirez and his quality changeup, you make a good pitch with that changeup, you might get a double play.
Line to right field and deep. Backing up is Melky, and he makes the play. Tagging is Historis. He'll score. It is a 9-4 Angels lead. Moving to third is Ibar, but a nice play by Melky on the sac fly by Matthews.
I tell you, we talked about his hitting, but there's one thing that he brings to the yard every single day, and that's his defense. Melky Cabrera, whether it's in center field, left field, right field, good solid outfielder. Matthews gets the pitch to drive, just didn't quite get enough of it.
Tell you what, Matthews is locked in. Even his first at bat, he hit a fly ball to deep center field. Quality at bats, hitting the ball right on the nose.
There's Bobby Abreu, 1 for 2 with 2 walks and 2 stolen bases.
A lot of the Angels hitters getting up there. Looks like they're looking for that first pitch fastball before Ramirez can get to his changeup.
See the patch on the right sleeve for Preston Gomez, longtime coach, scout, executive in the Angel system. Hit sharply right at Cano. That's going to do it. But 3 more runs on 4 hits, no errors on 1 man left. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. The Angels lead the Yankees 9-4, but we stay right here and honor America in the Bronx.
And we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Now please join Kate Smith. She sings God Bless America.
Well, thank you, Bob. Back here in the Bronx, Yankees are trailing this one by a score of 9-4. 9 unanswered runs for the Angels. Yankees had a 4-0 lead after 1 inning. But they didn't tack on any, and through no fault of their own. It's not as if they left people on base. Jared Weaver just pitched very, very well. Andy Pettit ran into trouble in the 6th inning. And then the bullpen has just been abysmal. The Yankee bullpen's ERA, as Kendry Morales takes over at first, is now 6.84. And that's 13th in the American League. You know who's last? The Angels. 7.07. So the Yankees get into the Angels bullpen, and Rafael Rodriguez takes over for Jared Weaver. Let's see if the Yankees can do to that bullpen what the Angels did to theirs.
Decent ERA, but he's given up a lot of hits compared to innings pitched.
And there's a strike to Ramiro Pena. Juan Rivera takes over in left for Bobby Abreu. And Pena continues his hot hitting, and he is 2 for 3 tonight, and 7 for his last 15.
Type of ball game. If you're the Yankees, you just got to start thinking about chipping away. You got 9 outs left in this ball game. Nice piece of hitting by Pena. Just stays on it, doesn't try to do too much, flips it the other way. Just try to string together a couple of base hits, maybe a walk here and there, and then one big swing of the bat, you're right back in the ball game.
Here's Derek Jeter. Derek's 0 for 2. He walked in the 1st inning and scored, then flew out to center and left. Fastball strike.
So Derek Jeter's not too sad to see Weaver take it up to the clubhouse. They look real comfortable off of him tonight.
And another strike on the outside corner. Check swing. Daniel DeMute doesn't really like to move his arms that much. Very small show of swing or not swing. Yeah. Hot night, saving some energy. Dana?
You know one thing, it's a big relief when you see that umpire do that in a flash. Some of them are just winding up, getting ready to ring you down there. Doing that hop step down there, you know they're getting ready to just absolutely bring you.
Two. Right back to Rodriguez. And he almost threw the ball away, but an outstanding play by Ibar to save him an error. Should have been a 1-6-3 double play, but Ibar turned it into an out.
A great play by Ibar just to get one out here. A young pitcher, Rodriguez, comes up, kind of yanks the throw a little bit. Nice athletic play by Ibar, and then reaches back with his right foot.
Isn't that so tough? You'll see Ibar, everything's going to first base. He's getting ready to turn a double play. That ball completely behind him.
There's Johnny Damon. And there's a strike from Rafael Rodriguez. Damon walked and scored in the 1st. Fly ball to center in the 2nd. And then a single to center in the 5th. Now, we showed Juan Rivera in left. That was not totally a defensive move by Mike Scioscia, taking Abreu out. Abreu left the game with tightness in his lower back. Grounded right to Kendry Morales. He goes the second one on to first. Not in time. Pretty neat turn by the Angels. That was a lot closer than you thought it would be.
Especially when Johnny Damon hits it, you didn't think it was going to be this close. A nice turn by Morales. Good strong throw, accurate. Ibar, the strong throw over to first, and Johnny Damon just beats it. Nice spin, accurate throw. Ibar showing a lot of athleticism this inning. You watch Rodriguez, it looks like when he faces the lefties, it's going to be fastball changeup. When he faces the righties, he feels good about his slider.
High fly ball, deep right center. Hunter back on the track at the wall. He makes the play for the final out of the seventh. No runs to hit, no errors, and one man left on base. Torrey Hunter goes back on the track and puts it away for the final out. We go to the eighth. Well, we go to the eighth inning. Torrey Hunter leads off, and he swings at the first pitch. It's a fly ball to center. Gardner broke out, then comes in, one away. One pitch, one out. So one down, and that'll bring up Mike Napoli. It seemed like the long fly ball by Teixeira did not carry out there. Maybe it's the heavy air with the humidity, could be. And that's why you have to wait before you judge this ballpark, because it's going to be hot nights. Summer comes around. According to the humidity, usually balls travel in hot weather, but if it's heavy air, it doesn't. But that time, that ball didn't really take off.
If you look at the flags tonight, I mean, there's a little bit of a breeze, nothing like there was last night.
Napoli with a high fly ball, left field. Moving back is Damon in front of the auxiliary scoreboard. He puts it away.
Well, right when we talk about it, didn't carry to right center. That ball carried, and you watch the way an outfielder goes. And if you see that step after step after step, you know that ball is just continually carrying. It's a left center night, Flash. You got to keep out of left center.
It's going to take a while to figure out, you know, where the wind is going on a certain night. I mean, you look at the flags, and I guess it looks like they're going out to left field. The ones on top of the stadium. It was always one of those things. You'd go into a visitor's park and you'd look to see which way the wind's blowing, and you get a good idea. If I get a pop up, which way is it going to go? Totally different once it goes up there and the wind is swirling. One of those things about home field advantage, being able to pay attention.
There's a ground ball to short. Jeter. And a 1-2-3 inning for Edouard Ramirez, and he did it with just 6 pitches. So the Angels go down in order, and we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Angels 9 and the Yankees 4 on yes. Allowing you to vote along with the 3 of us here in the booth for the Chevrolet Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772. Tonight's candidates are number 1, Gary Matthews Jr., number 2, Jeff Mathis, number 3, Jared Weaver, number 4, Jorge Posada. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Matsui leads off, takes a pitch high, 1-0. Matsui, Cano, and Posada as the Yankees trail 9-4. Ten-game hitting streak on the line for Matsui. He had a sac fly in the first inning, but 2 fly balls since, 1 to center, 1 to left. So this might be his last chance to keep it alive. When you had hitting streak going, did you realize, all right, I need one here, I'm 0 for whatever?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think you really think about it until it gets to a certain number. I mean, 9, 10, something like that. But you start getting into the 20s, and Michael Kay walks into the locker room and tells you about it, then you start thinking about it.
Well, Matsui grounds out. Well, you had one in the 30s, John. So when did you start thinking about it?
27.
27, I'm sorry.
I started thinking about 15 or 16, but I'll tell you, it was when I was with San Diego playing with Tony Gwynn, and when he said, I forget what number it was, in the low 20s, he said, you just blew me out of the water. I knew my days were numbered. I mean, Tony Gwynn having a longer hitting streak than him.
You know, and it seems so easy. You think, 1 for 4, you can throw a hit in, but it just doesn't work out that way. 3 hits one day and 0 the next. And it's the way baseball is, and the consistency of that 56-game hitting streak.
Well, here's a man with an 18-game hitting streak. He extended that in the first inning. He picks up a double here in the 8th inning. Cano hits the ball hard to the right side, drives it to left center field, and he has been on fire. Time to take a look now at the Land Rover drive of the game as Jorge Posada strides to the plate.
Well, it was the bottom of the first inning for Jorge Posada. It'll be your Land Rover drive of the game. It's just a fastball right down the middle. He crushes this ball to right center. A 2-run homer that gave the Yankees a 4-0 lead at that point, which hasn't held up.
That's Cano's 11th multi-hit game of the year.
say,
pitch inside.
The more I look at Cano, and it's just all about his ability right now to day in, day out concentrate like he is right now. If he doesn't get away from it, he's going to have a year that people are going to look at the end of the year and think, wow, this is what we've been waiting for. But it's just not, going home and just thinking that you're going to show up tomorrow and it's going to happen. It's working every single day to stay in that hitting zone that you're in. And he's that good of a hitter where if he concentrates and he has the swing he has right now, there's no sure way to get him out.
He's in such a groove right now. He recognizes when he steps in for that first pitch of batting practice, oh, yeah, there it is. Or the other side, something's wrong. I don't feel it. I got to go work out on the cage or down in the tunnel underneath.
See that everything's in balance. He puts his hands back a little bit, but all of a sudden that bat head is out in the zone and it's level, and that's why he doesn't pop a lot of balls up. When he hits the ball right on the nose, it's usually a line drive, and that's why he can hit for a high average. He can hit all parts of the park with that level swing. So he got all parts of the plate covered. Didn't quite get to that ball, but put the barrel of the bat on it. Wasn't looking to pull it.
And Posada walks. Remember, we told you the Yankees have the 13th worst bullpen ERA in the American League, and the Angels are last. So the Yankees will have their opportunities as Mike Scioscia comes out to the mound. And Monday night on Yes, the Yankees look to even the score when they kick off a home series against the Red Sox. Coverage starts at 6 with batting practice today presented by Audi, and then there's the pregame. Then David Cohn, Ken Singleton, and I have all the action. Red Sox, Yankees, it all starts Monday night at 6, and it's right here on Yes. So Mike Scioscia holds his breath and goes to the bullpen. Let's see if he pushes the right button. We'll be right back. Tomorrow, May 2nd, when the Yankees play the Angels, all fans in attendance are going to receive an inaugural season cap courtesy of H&R Block. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. You can visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or just call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. They love this pitcher, the Angels, Jose Arredondo. And he deals to Brett Gardner low. They think Arredondo has closer stuff. They weren't sure if he was ready for it this year. That's why they signed Brian Fuentes. You see his numbers so far. 5 appearances against the Yankees, 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. There's a strike.
Well, he's got closer type stuff. I mean, a power fastball, mid-90s, got a great split finger. 50 of his 63 major league outings have been scoreless. Like any other pitcher, you get behind in the count, Brett Gardner can start hunting a fastball. It's a lot easier to hit.
There's the Angels bullpen ranks. Last in batting average against, last in ERA. Line drive, base hit to left field for Gardner. Cano will stop at third. You don't take chances now. You're down by 5. But the Yankees have the bases loaded with 1 out.
All fastballs to Brett Gardner, and he got one up in the count on a 2-1 count, a hitter's count, looking for it. Does a nice job staying inside it. Instead of slapping it the other way, he drives this ball a little bit, a sharp line drive. So Melky Cabrera in a situation with the bases loaded. 1 out.
Well, Melky's been very clutch of late. And this is a clutch situation. At the walk-off home run here at the stadium against the Indians. See his numbers with the bases loaded. Had a big hit last night. This is the Yankees' opportunity to get back in this game. They trail 9-4. Fouled away. That walk-off home run was against the A's. That's my bad. It was not the Indians. Indians they opened up against, then the A's. Upstairs. And now Mathis wants to go out and talk with Arredondo.
The way to get Arredondo, I mean, you obviously you want to get in a hitter's count and get ahead in the count to stay away from the thought of that split finger. Melky Cabrera in that situation right now, ahead 2-1. You can just sit on one pitch, look for that hard fastball, anything else, lay off.
See young pitchers with good fastballs, and they get real proud of them. And what they do in these situations, they try to overthrow, even throw a little bit harder. His last 2 pitches, he just throws it through to him.
Nice piece of hitting, a base hit to left field. Cano will score. Posada stops at third. Moving to second is Gardner, and Melky with an RBI single. And the Yankees now trail 9-5, and that means that Ramiro Pena is the tying run coming to the plate.
Pitch by pitch, a first pitch split finger down, then a fastball up. Pretty good swing. Fastball up. Now you're in a hitter's count, a fastball away. Just stays with it. Does not try to do too much. Kind of like last night where he pulled the base hit, but a nice simple approach. Not over swinging.
Now you have Ramiro Pena up as Mike Butcher goes to the mound. And there are very little moves that are available to Girardi. You've already used Gardner, so he's out of the game because of the injury to Swisher. You've got Angel Baroa and Jose Molina. You don't want to use your second catcher, so he's out of the mix. And Angel Baroa is that much of an improvement over Pena. Pena had that big hit last night, so they have to stay with him. They only have 2 guys on their bench right now.
And he's had a good night, 2 for 3.
Bases loaded with Yankees. 9-5, the Angels lead. Pena's the tying run. And the pitch. Upstairs, 1-0.
No action in the Angel bullpen. Mike Scioscia going with his young right-hander.
Line drive, base hit to right field. Scoring is Posada. Here comes Gardner. He'll score. Moving to third is Cabrera. Another big hit for the rookie. Pena, a 2-run single. And the Yankees are now down 9-7.
It's amazing how certain things just continually show up and why teams are playing the way they are. But Pena, what a great at-bat. I mean, doesn't try to do too much with it. Doesn't try to be the hero and hit it out of the ballpark. Just keep the train moving. Keep getting base hits after base hit. Now you have an opportunity to really get back into this game.
4 RBIs the last 2 games for Pena. Arredondo coming in. He's just proud of his fastball. Pumping fastballs in there. The Yankees taking advantage.
Yankees have gotten the hits when they needed it tonight. 4 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Joe Girardi has to like the resilience of his team. Early on, they've come back plenty. Yankees' leading hitter with runners in scoring position is Derek Jeter at 364. Arredondo deals. Slow roller towards short. Fielded by Ibar. The run scores, and now it's 9-8 as Ramiro Pena moves into scoring position.
Talked about it. Arredondo likes to get ahead with that fastball. Jeet got a fastball, just got in on him. Don't want to get behind in the count where he can get to a split finger. Ball just running in, and you see it's not actually where they were pitching it. Just got fortunate movement there. Got it on Derek's hand.
Big at bat for Johnny Damon, a chance to tie this game. And the first pitch to Damon outside 1-0. Johnny tonight is 1 for 3. Jason Bolger, who pitched last night, up in the bullpen. Their closer is Brian Fuentes, a left-hander. And the 1-0. There's a strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
Obviously, Mike Scioscia wants to stay away from his closer for more than a 3-out save opportunity. We thought with his bullpen struggling as bad as they are, he might have been warming up in the 8th, but he's not even getting loose now.
Threw an off-speed pitch there, and Damon out in front to count 1-2.
That pitch is a difference maker for Arredondo. If he can throw that anywhere near the strike zone, it's nasty. Johnny Damon fooled.
Grounded foul.
Funny how quick things happen. A few base hits, and all of a sudden you look at the scoreboard and you're 1 run down with a tying run on second base.
Strike 3, Damon down looking. Threw a fastball right down the middle. Damon thought it was a little bit too far down, but the Yankees get close. They get close in a hurry. 4 runs on 4 hits and 1 man left on base. We go to the 9th. It's 9-8 LA. Examine the play of the game, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance.
Gary Matthews steps to the plate. Angels down 4-2. Hits a bases clearing triple. Give Anaheim its first lead of the night. Ended up scoring on his own. to play in the dirt to George Posada, Jorge Posada.
And now Jonathan Albaladeo takes over. Try to hold it here at 9-8. Swing and a miss by Kendry Morales. Those are Albaladeo's numbers.
He's trying to rebound after a tough performance in Wednesday's game at Detroit. 3 hits, 4 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning.
Kendry Morales out of the Angels farm system takes over at first base for Mort Teixeira. Angels kind of lost 2 first basemen because they had to trade their first baseman Casey Kochman to the Braves to get Teixeira. Then Teixeira left as a free agent, so then it was Kendry Morales' turn. The 2-1. Albaladeo had 4 consecutive scoreless outings, and he was moving up in the pecking order. Joe was using him in big situations to see the closer Brian Fuentes getting ready. Well, he's allowed 7 runs in his last 2 appearances. And I think what you're seeing is Joe Girardi trying to find a combination that works. Without Bruni there, that takes away his 8th inning. So he's trying to find the 8th inning guy, then the guy to pitch the 7th inning effectively. And some days he's teased where a guy looks like he wants to assume that role, and then all of a sudden he'll have a bad outing. So still a work in progress. (3-1). Nice play by Cano. Boy, has he got his game going.
We talk about his hitting. I mean, defensively, I mean, you can laugh all you want out there, Robbie. That's a tough play. He's got great hands. Knows where he is on the field. Able to stop. Enough arm strength to play.
I like that he knew Morales was running. He had plenty of time. Takes a couple extra steps. Make sure you get a good grip. And a strong throw.
Breaking ball that Mathis was moving out of the way of. Count 1-0.
You know, Michael, it's shocking too, because coming out of spring training after what we saw the Yankees last year with the bullpen was a strength. In spring training, you thought it was going to be a strength, and they've just gotten off to a slow start.
Popped up. Posada called off by Teixeira. 2 outs.
Michael, I think you said it right. I mean, different people are getting in on different opportunities, and no one has really taken it where Joe Girardi can just pencil him into a certain role. And as a manager, what can you do other than try to stay with the hot hand until somebody wins that job?
If you want to look ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, Yankees have the heart of the order. They have Teixeira, Matsui, and Cano. Now, Teixeira's a switch hitter. Matsui and Cano are lefties, and that plays into Mike Scioscia's hand. His closer is a left-hander, Brian Fuentes. So we'll see if the Yankees can put together something in the bottom of the 9th. Ibar tries to bunt, bunts it foul. Ibar's had a good night, 3 for 4.
Impressed with him defensively, what he's done out on the field. I mean, he showed he can run and speed. I mean, this is a guy that can do a lot of things for you offensively by just using his speed.
Nubbed in front of the plate. Going to be a very tough play. Albaladeo makes it. Just got the speedy Ibar at first. And Albaladeo comes on and pitches a 1-2-3 9th inning. Tough play in front of the plate. Wet grass, bare hands, fires, and they just get Ibar. Last legs coming up for the Yankees. Can they rally? Stick around. time to announce the Chevy Player of the Game is voted on by you, the fans, and the three of us here in the booth. And what was the choice, John?
Well, the choice was Gary Matthews Jr. Had a great ball game. 3 for 4, 4 RBIs. His only at bat that he made it out, he hit a ball deep to center field, but the big blow, a triple to the gap at right center, scored 3. Also had a nice night on the bases. Scored on a wild pitch in the dirt that Jorge Posada blocked in front of him. Nice baseball instincts. Gary Matthews Jr., your Chevy Player of the Game.
Well, let's see if he's the Chevy Player of the Game in a losing effort. Fuentes has faced the Yankees twice in his career. 2 innings, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts. That was an interleague play with the Rockies. Mark Teixeira, who has struggled with the Yankees in his first year, gets a chance to lead off against Fuentes, batting from the right side, and the lefty deals. There's a strike. Fuentes takes over for K-Rod, who left as a free agent, had 62 saves, a major league record last year. 8 innings, 10 hits against Fuentes, 3 walks, so 13 base runners in 8 innings, but 12 strikeouts.
Here's a guy right here that you can absolutely throw the radar gun away. It means absolutely nothing. The deception in his delivery is what makes him successful. Left-handed hitters don't pick up the ball. He kind of short arms it. Right-handers on the hitter, he hides it from. Just kind of cuffs it back there. I've seen too many closers that throw 89, 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, he must have an outstanding changeup to get righties out with that velocity that you're talking about, upper 80s.
The 2-1 outside, 3-1. And we said this when we started the game. Despite his struggles, Teixeira has taken his walks, so he's not gotten out of what he does well. He's 3 for his last 26 with his 0 for 4 tonight. And the 3-1 foul back.
Well, that's the one right there. 3-1 fastball, pretty much middle of the plate. Good aggressive swing, and Paul talked about it earlier. When you're locked in, that ball is centered. And when you're struggling a little bit, you foul it straight back.
And Teixeira works a walk, so the Yankees have the tying run on base.
Take a look at the pitch by Fuentes. A fastball for a strike. Off the plate away. Another fastball down. Another fastball away. Fastball, good swing, and then he yanks this one inside for ball 4.
Lefties this year against Fuentes, 1 for 10 with 4 strikeouts. Matsui at the plate, the cleanup hitter. He's not bunting. Upstairs, and now Mathis wants to talk with Fuentes. Angels had to replace K-Rod, who signed as a free agent with the Mets. They didn't quite think that Arredondo was ready, so they went to the market and got Brian Fuentes, who was the second best closer available.
Talked about the substitutions early in the game with putting Gardner out on the field. This is a situation where you might want to use him as a pinch runner right here, but you've lost that option.
Line drive, base hit to left field for Matsui as Teixeira advances into scoring position. So the Yankees have the tying run at second. The winning run is at first in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Again, a tough at bat for a lefty, but you see Matsui gets a good pitch to hit right over the bench. I don't understand how he can cover that ball away with that hip flying, but he's done it. That's the way he hits. Waits on the ball. Drives it to left field. See that front hip just fly open, but the hands stay back. Puts the barrel of the bat on.
And that single extends his hitting streak to 11 straight. We thought it had been broken when he made the out in the 8th, but now the Yankees' hottest hitter is at the plate, and that's Robinson Cano.
Seen all fastballs from Fuentes. We'll see if he starts Robinson off with a slider.
Most of the crowd of over 43,000 on their feet. Fuentes deals. 1-0. Yankees led 4-0 after 1. A 6 spot in the 6th for the Angels made it 6-4. Then 3 runs in the 7th made it 9-4. The Yankees answered with 4 in the 8th to make it 9-8. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. The score is 9-8, and the Yankees have 2 runners on and nobody out, and a man with an 18-game hitting streak at the plate. The 1-0. Strike. Good pitch on the outside corner. Count 1-1.
Well, I guess you follow Hideki Matsui's lead. If you're Robinson Cano, you're standing on deck. You watch him take a fastball, shoot it the other way. Not a lot of history with the Yankees and Fuentes.
And the 1-1. Way outside. There's a breaking ball, and the count 2-1.
You know, we haven't seen much of Fuentes, obviously, but from his delivery, Flash, it seems to me from a left-handed hitter that you would almost take that inside part of the plate away, thinking that he cannot run that ball back in. His slider's a big old slider, and his fastball just kind of a crossfire. So you just hope that he doesn't have that two-seamer and he can run in it on your hands.
The 2-1. Another good pitch on the outside corner, 2-2.
Perfectly located right on the corner. Gets a call from home plate umpire Hunter Wentelstadt.
I got the black. Jorge Posada, switch hitter, is on deck. And then after him, Brett Gardner. About a 3.5-hour game here in the Bronx. Yankees trying to make it a winner. First and second, nobody out. Bottom of the 9th, down by 1. The pitch. Grounded, foul outside of third. Just got a piece to stay alive right off the end of the bat.
Proud of his fastball. He talked about the velocity not overpowering, but he keeps throwing them in there.
I'll tell you, he's only thrown one breaking ball that I can remember, and he missed so much with it that, you know, in this situation, 2-2, I don't know if you can, you know, dare yourself to throw it again, but hasn't shown that he can pitch the inside part of the plate. So if you're Robinson Cano, you've got to try to shoot this ball to left field.
The 2-2. Line drive, base hit. Teixeira had to hold up. He will not be able to score. He did not know if it was going to go through. So the Yankees have the bases loaded and nobody out. Cano is third hit of the night.
Again, he threw that breaking ball, but he threw it up. It was kind of a get-me-over breaking ball, and he hung it. Cano, a hot, good hitter. He's not going to miss that one.
Yeah, Mark Teixeira, you're taught to freeze on a line drive, but that ball was pretty much middle of the field. He wanted to make sure he didn't get doubled up. He throws. He was only going to be able to get to third base.
Sometimes as a hitter, you know, as a runner on second base, you just get a bad read, thinking it might be going at the second baseman. You get a bad judgment immediately, and he did the right thing. If you're not sure this time in the game, get to third base and let the next hit win or tie this game.
Cano, as I mentioned, with 3 hits, and it's his 4th 3-hit game of the year. Angel Baroa will take over at second base as a pinch runner for Matsui, because that's the winning run. You want to get that run home. Here's Jorge Posada. Bases loaded, nobody out. And the pitch. 1-0. Posada with a 2-run home run in the first inning, grounded to first in the third, grounded to second in the 6th, and walked and scored in the 8th inning. Infield is in, and the pitch is high. That's a risky move right there. They want to cut off the tying run, but by bringing the infield in, you could be losing the game if the ground ball squeaks through.
Posada, great numbers hitting right-handed, 391 on the young season. Great hitters count here, 2-0. Foul
back.
Torrey Hunter shading Jorge Posada to right center. A lot of room in that left center field gap.
Brian Fuentes in quite a jam. Yankees down by 1, 9-8, bases loaded, nobody out. And the 2-1 to Posada. 3-1. And the pitch. 3-2.
Fastball away. Looked like Jorge was trying to pull that one to the left center field gap.
You have to throw a strike. Fuentes sets and the pitch. Line drive, base hit to left field. That's going to win the game. Here comes Baroa. He touches up, and the Yankees come all the way back and beat the Angels 10-9. The walk-off, 2-run single for Jorge Posada. So the Yankees down 9-4 after leading 4-0. They come all the way back and win it on this hit.
Well, you said it. He had to throw a strike. Didn't want to walk in the tying run. Jorge Posada swung through a fastball away on a 3-1 count. He got one right down the middle, 3-2, and took care of it to left center.
Pitch you can handle, drives it out to left field. I don't care how many times you've done that or how many opportunities you get to do that. When you watch Jorge run around first base, it was such a special feeling right there.
And in Mohegan Sun Bar, they're loving it. And Fuentes not too pleased as he blows the save and the game for the Angels. And Kim Jones is with Jorge Posada in front of the Yankee dugout. Kim?
Thank you, Michael. He just told me he got tired celebrating. Jorge, what is this moment like to cap a comeback that way?
You know, we got a lot of life in this team. I think we're doing a lot of things well. You know, I tell you what, you know, the bullpen gave us a chance to win. You know, in the bottom of the order, it really kept getting on base, and we got a chance to win.
How much more does it help you guys when guys like Melky and Ramiro Pena are coming through like they have the past 2 nights?
It's big. It's big because, you know, you can't die down. And I think, you know, we've been able to do that lately, and it's good to see.
These past few games, Jorge, does it just seem like the confidence has grown up and down your lineup? We've seen big innings from you guys repeatedly.
Well, we're having great at-bats, you know, and I think that's the thing. Just having good at-bats, you know, no panic, and just, you know, just go out there and hit.
You always thought you guys could come back tonight?
Yeah, I thought we had a chance. You know, you got to shorten down the lead, and, you know, as soon as we shortened down the lead in the bottom of the 8th, we had a chance.
And did you know Fuentes had to throw you a strike there?
Yeah, you know, you 3-2. You know, you're looking for a pitch to hit, and, you know, he threw me a fastball right down the middle.
And you put it where you wanted to. Thank you very much, Jorge.
Thank you.
Michael, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Kim. So Jorge Posada, he's responsible for that, too, with the game-winning walk-off single, bases loaded, nobody out. What was a 9-4 deficit turns into a 10-9 Yankee victory. They've now won 4 in a row. We've got so much more to come. And then Bob Lorenz with the postgame show, and Kim will